WX-78 got their skill tree, but we know this because I made a guide and I did a video using WX's clones, their lunar clones, to defeat bosses. But what if we now use exclusively WX's Shadow Affinity? This affinity kept receiving updates even after the beta ended, and it includes duplicating equipment and damage buffing drones. So let's see how much faster the Shadow Affinity can defeat all the bosses than the Lunar Affinity. Let's do this! Get rid of that stupid affinity. That's what we got. Let's go, dude! Wow! So this is the skill tree loadout. It's mostly the same as last time, of course, except the Shadow Affinity, of course. I'm not going to go through the basics of the WX skill tree, as I already have in the Lunar Affinity boss rush, and of course the guide, which you haven't seen. You should go watch that. But otherwise, I will be going through the slightly different variations of what we're doing in this run rather than the Lunar Affinity run. So first of all, we're doing the basic gathering, and our first major goal is finding the shadow pieces and doing a runes rush. Because if you didn't know, the Shadow Affinity allows you to plug things into WX to gain effects. This could be from Nightmare Fuel, Pure Horror, the Shadow Heart dropped by the level 3 shadow pieces, and an imbued Shadow Heart, or the Possessed Shadow Heart, to give extra effects. So I want one of these Shadow Hearts to plug into WX to be my final form. But do you know what else requires a heart? That's right, the Shadow Maul. And if you don't know, WX has a circuit which allows WX to spin with any weapon that is an axe or a pickaxe. You know what counts as an axe? That's right, the best slot weapon, the Shadow Maul. So we want a heart to plug into myself, I want a heart to make the Shadow Maul, and I need a heart to kill Fuel Weaver. So that's at least 3 hearts, but we might even do 4 hearts, because like I said, we could do duplication using, well, I didn't say this, but the duplication can be done by using these Shadow Hearts. So we're going to eventually be getting at least 4 Shadow Hearts. That's 4 level 3 shadow pieces. So that is the goal, initially. And then we'll be set and we'll be annihilating everything. Bunny Wabbit, yes please. Oh my goodness, there's no way I just did that. No way I stepped outside the circle for a millisecond. So one thing I didn't know about scanning rabbits, if you dig them up or you otherwise trap them, then put them back down, and then you try to chase them with Jimmy, they will always outrun Jimmy because they never try to run back to their hole. But if you just like chase them away from their hole, they will, when they get far away enough from Jimmy, they stop running and they turn around to go back to the hole. That gives Jimmy the opportunity to catch up and start scanning for another short time. I've already used up half a day. I would like to scan that moleworm, actually. I'm scanning a moleworm not because I want the optoelectronic circuit, but I want the biodata, because we are hungry for the biodata. But unlike the Lunar Affinity, once we have enough biodata, we don't really need it anymore, since we're not making a ton of circuits for any reason. Like the Lunar Affinity, I had to make a ton of circuits to put into my clones. But with the Shadow Affinity, once I have all my circuits, that's that. I don't need any more, unless I, break them. Oops. So this is the first reset point of the run. I'm digging up graves for gears, because gears equals good, and I can make many things with gears, including speed circuits, the clockwork circuit, and a few other crafting recipes. And the crafting recipe that I'm after right now is the inactive chassis recipe. One of the graves gave us nightmare fuel, so we plugged it in immediately. So now we can make 2 auto grabbers. So by plugging in nightmare fuel, I can make the auto grabbers. They grab things when you pick things up. Very cool. I also want red gems, like I just got just there, nice, for my inactive chassis. Now all we need is some gears. Just a little bit of gears, please. 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 Oh man. Tragically, I did not get gears from any of my graves, but I do a little bit of cheaty weety, and I just check. I check to make sure if there's any rooks in the world. 3 rooks! Wow! Because there are 3 rooks on the surface world, I choose not to reset the world, because 3 rooks is quite a lot. That's also quite a tasty amount of gears. So normally I would reset if I didn't get gears from graves, but all is well. All is well! We shall continue! I've also crafted myself an auto grabber. Right now he's being kind of useless because he's kind of slow, but the idea is every time I pick one thing up, it will also pick one thing up and then bring it to my inventory. Every time I mine a rock and it drops like say 6 items, I can pick up 5 of them and the auto grabber will pick up 1. Picks things up like quite slowly. But I could make a second one. Next, I am making the handy dandy auto mapper. These auto mappers are my favorite drones. You can make them and they automatically deploy, and then you could send them off in their merry way on opposite ends of the map. Well, we don't have enough range to send them to the opposite end of the map, but soon we will. So for now, we're just going to send them in as far away as we can from myself, far away from each other so they can explore the map. And then later on, we're going to extend their range with some shenanigans, which I will explain at that time. Just a little gear, please. That's not a little gear. So now that I jumped through this wormhole, I can now command them to wherever this is to drag them all the way over here, which I will do. Oh look, he found Lunar Island, look at that. Oh my goodness, one of my scanners spotted Lunar Island. And now that I've jumped through a wormhole, I can now drag my scanners all the way across the map back within my range. You see, you can only command your auto mappers within the range, which is within an area around you. But if you change locations, you can just drag them towards you. So in this case, jumping through a wormhole takes me to the other side of the map. Then I can drag them to that side of the map, revealing all of the map between the 2 points. Marvelous. Scanning nightmare creatures unlocks a very powerful circuit, the super processing circuit. Once I make this eventually, it grants you increased max sanity, but more importantly, plus 2 sanity per minute. But even more importantly, a 50% reduction in all sanity auras from monsters. That's stuff like Deerclops, Fuel Weaver, and such. So you'll lose sanity a lot slower. This counts as a different nightmare creature, so I'll get full biodata for it, even though it unlocks the same circuit. Hey look, he's found picking for us. Yeah, I kind of like this grabber, I'm going to be totally for real, kind of like it. Fireflies are next on the list of the scannables because they unlock the illumination circuit. Now I don't actually want the illumination circuit, I want the super illumination circuit. But to make the super illumination circuit, I need, that's right, the illumination circuit. Cocoon, that's what we're looking for. Let me give it a twig. Kitty is now very happy. You just like push it mildly away from Jimmy. Scanning a Catcoon is usually a pain for the redigestion circuit, but feed it a twig and it will puke things back up, and then by the time it's done puking, Jimmy would have finished the scan. And you can also just attack it, but Catcoons are OP and have like a massive range for no reason. Oh, I never scanned a butterfly, let's do that. Good thinking, Jimmy! Get away from my Jimmy, he's scanning butterflies. Oh, was it going for my, my auto grabbers? Maybe. No way, kitty cat tail acquired. Redigestion plugged in. Balls. Made both, I don't know which one I'll actually use though. You didn't think you were restricted to 2 rotomappers overall. No. 2 rotomappers allowed on the surface and 2 rotomappers allowed in the caves. And we're going to do the same kind of trick in the caves as we did on the surface. We're going to put the rotomappers in the caves and then just send them in opposite directions. And then when we go down a different cave entrance, hopefully we'll be on the other side of the cave map so that we can drag the cave rotomappers along so that they uncover a bunch of map between the 2 points. Very cool. Spiders give us the hardy circuit, and we need that to make the super hardy circuit, which will eventually but not right now. Kind of. You have to like Ooh, are you gonna sell me a gear? Oh my goodness. Hell yeah. We find the Beefalo trader, and his trades are actually useful. We buy 1 gear for 3 pigskin. Now what does this allow us to do? That's right, we can make our first backup chassis. By using this backup chassis, we can use a different loadout of circuits without constantly plugging and unplugging circuits. By blowing the pan flute, I can put a bird to sleep to allow Jimmy to scan it. Because normally, Jimmy is stupid and scares birds away when trying to scan them. And a bird scan early is huge because this unlocks the range booster circuit. So I'm teleporting to the backup chassis that I just made because I want to make it gain some charges. Because eventually what this body is going to be filled with range booster circuits. And this range booster circuit boosts the range at which you can control your drones. You see the combo now. We can leave this body in roughly the middle of the map, then we can teleport to it whenever we want to control the map drones, because then we can pull them all over the map because I'll have a massive control range. But for now, we need the circuits to get maxed out, and we need 7 range booster circuits, which requires much gold. But luckily, on my main body, I have been collecting trinkets from the graves I've been digging up for the picking for gold, so I can make compasses, and compasses are needed for the range booster circuits. Meow is right, kitty cat. Meow is right. But rather than just standing there and letting my circuits recharge without doing anything, I'm stealing some stuff from my main body and exploring and gathering things still while these circuits recharge. Alright, I'll teleport back to this guy for more biodata. Ooh, he's like not in the middle of the map. And now that I have full circuits and a couple of range boosters plugged in, switching back to the main body, and then whenever I get more ingredients to make more range boosters, I will be doing so. Yo, Chester. I'm hither with your trinkets. So even though I only gathered 2 trinkets from graves, that's still like more than 10 gold. So I've been kind of sleeping on this for all of my runs, not grabbing trinkets and feeding them to picking. But now it is time to claim the piggy houses for myself. Middle of the map is here. We're like kind of close to the middle of the map. It's not too bad actually. Let's send you across here. Boy, it's heavy rain. Look upon my genius. I teleport away from my temporary body when the wetness meter is approaching 15 so that I can go back to my main body that has 0 wetness to spread the wetness between new bodies. Because if you didn't know, once your wetness as WX goes above 15, you start rapidly losing charges. And of course, if your charges are deactivated, so are all the circuits that are attached to them. And so that is bad. And the rain dies out before I get any more wetness. Marvelous. Yeah, it's usual to get heavy rain in the early game. Usually just doesn't last very long. A little alchemy time for a handbat and football helmet, and also what if we just gave Bee Queen a little bit of tap? It's time to fight the Bee Queen! I kid, haha. We're just scanning her because, oh, I've been poked. Oh, I've been poked again. We just want to scan her because we want the bean booster circuit eventually, but we actually just want a hell load of biodata, which she gives lots of. And with that, I can make many stuff and things, including a double processing circuit. Okay, a forest is good. So now we're just finding the shadow pieces. That is the goal. Make a drone real quick. Oh my gosh, the next drone is being born. The portable storage unit. The portable storage unit has 3 slots in it. And you can get an upgraded version that is 6 slots. But I didn't want to spend a skill point on that. So I just got the normal version. So using this drone, I can put in the materials to make more range booster circuits and send it to my second body. Then I can teleport to my second body momentarily. And then make more range boosters and plug it in. Then send the drone back to my main body. Very cool. So while transferring consciousness isn't a true teleport because it doesn't take any of your stuff with you, you can make it a partial teleport because of Drew the transport drone. And there it is, our range booster body is complete. 7 range boosters, and we send the rest of materials back to the main body. 7 range boosters means now I can send the roto mappers basically anywhere on the map except the really far corners, as long as the range booster body is in roughly the center of the map. So I can explore most of the map, including the ocean, which of course is terrible to navigate because it's slow, and WX does not like water, of course. Alright, I know where Knight and Rook is, but I don't know where the rest are. In the night of day 5, I go to a set piece that one of my roto mappers unlocked for me. It looked like a Rook set piece, and oh, it was, there's a Rook. And Chester, I hate you, you are the worst. He aggroed the Rook. Wait, what, Chester, what are you doing? Oh, I hate that change they've done. So this bug has been fixed, but this was a bug where Chester would follow you rather than following the eye bone until he approached you and got close enough to see that you didn't have the eye bone, then he would run back to the eye bone. That is what happened here, causing the Rook to aggro. And of course, I don't want Chester to die, because then he'll drop all my stuff and things. So I don't want Chester to drop all my stuff and things, so I had to attack the Rook, and now Rooks are stupid, and they stay aggroed for about 5,000 light years. Jakey, light years is a measure of distance, not time. I know. Anyway, so in a non-chaotic world where Chester did not aggro the Rook, I can scan the Rook without aggroing it with WX's built-in perk of clockworks are a little bit less aggressive to WX, meaning WX can get close to them without them aggroing. So while the clockwork Rook slowly hops back to his spawn point, we shall give him a little scan. I will be killing him after because I need the gears. Now we're unplugging the big acceleration circuit to make the super acceleration circuit. And now we have the same speed bonus, but it only takes up 2 slots rather than 6. And thanks to my skill, What's Up, I only lose half the circuit charges that I would otherwise by unplugging the normal acceleration circuit. Normally, when you unplug a circuit, it drains all of the circuit slots it was attached to, but what's up halves that. And what's up also increases the recharge rate of my circuit bar. Now, while I do have 2 extra acceleration circuits to make 2 more super acceleration circuits, I am lacking biodata. Do you know what this means, fellas? We need to go get some more biodata. And I do see Dragonfly's desert up ahead. Perhaps we shall go give Dragonfly a little bit of a caress. Oh my goodness, tree guard set piece. I will take it. Holy moly. I am gaming with the living logs right now. I tell you what the hell? Holy moly, what a treasure trove. This is a rare set piece, and I don't know what it's called, but it's a bunch of tree guards, a miner hat, some rocks, and a pickaxe. Banging set piece, because we get a bunch of living logs, plenty for a ruins rush upcoming, and the miner hat's gonna come in kind of clutch, because it's a head-worn light source, which is good. After scanning a hound, we could make the second super acceleration circuit. We've also unlocked the gastro gain circuit. Put Dragonfly to sleepies, and then we can do a little bit of scanning. We'll probably have to put Dragonfly to sleep again, unless we want to take a smack to the face, which we do not. Dragonfly grants us a gargantuan 10 biodata, but we are still hungry for more, because we're going to make a gastro gain circuit, because eventually we want a super gastro gain circuit, which is like kind of legit, kind of cool. Wait a second, Jakey, why are you making a second gastro gain circuit? Oh my goodness. I don't know why I made a second one, but alright. Get a few more living logs, shall we? And now I am thirsty for some more living logs. So we're gonna kill a car. One more tree guard, I think. One more tree guard. Ooh. I think that's Clockwork Knights and such. One of my rotomappers has just seen another set piece. That's right. Do you see that clockwork set piece over there? You can't actually see the clockworks on the map, but you can see the Maxwell statue and the carpeted and checkered flooring. That is a clockwork set piece, no doubt about it. You know, we want them to explore the actual land. So let's send them like there. Oh my goodness, another rook. I have to wait for Chester because he wants to come to me before he goes to the Ivern, because he's stupid. And just like that, this is what happens when Chester doesn't make a mistake. I can get close to the rook and scan it in plenty of time, and then the rook starts attacking a tree guard. Banging. We were going to kill the rook anyway because I did want his gears. Tasty, tasty. Moonstone, good find. Right, scan a Clockwork Knight, and then we can just, like, we're solid once we scan a Clockwork Knight. And next we want to scan the Clockwork Knight at this set piece, because this unlocks a new-ish circuit, the Chess Master Circuit. This circuit requires only 1 gear and biodata to make, and it makes Clockworks neutral to WX. Unless, of course, you attack them. And the third super acceleration circuit has been achieved. Now we are speed. With this circuit, I can also recruit Clockworks just by feeding them gears. I don't need to stun them with electric, but I won't really be utilizing that all that much in this run, because Clockworks, bishops are okay some of the time, but usually they're kind of a waste of time resources. And actually, you know what? I'm selling them short. They're kind of good, but like not in this rush. Yes, Piggy, help me kill the evil Clockworks. With the range booster body, I'm just sending them back and forth across the map. That way, they will slowly uncover all the map in like a stripy fashion. A stripy fashion? Yes. Alright, so we need to find the bishop head in the set piece. Let's just start uncovering the map, I suppose. Holy moly, look at all those tumbleweeds! Maybe a gear for your boy? I am hungry for more biodata, so we're once again abusing Dragonfly like a little bit, but only like a little bit though. And now we are full of sanity, hunger, and health circuits. They're all the inferior versions though, so eventually we'll upgrade them, but for now, the inferior versions. Scanning vault codes unlocks the electrification circuit, but to actually make the electrification circuit, you need goat milk, which requires an electrified goat. So I do need to electrify one of these later if I want the electrification circuit, but for now, I simply cannot get it, because I do not have an electric weapon. We are still searching for the shadow pieces. So now what we're doing is I'm taking a little bit of time out to make the super hardy circuit. That requires me to scan a nurse spider. And nurse spiders only spawn from spider queens, so we are committing tactical death. Then we haunt a level 3 spider nest, and would you look at that, first try, we get ourselves a spider queef. Then by haunting my other body, I can come back to life for free, but my charges are drained. We just commit tactical death. Oh, that was easy. Then we give the Spider Queen a mild spanking and she will eventually spawn us a nice nurse spider for us to scan. Boom, on the night of day 9, we have found it. A nurse spider. Finally! Jakey, why don't you just capture it with the trap and take it away? Jakey, why aren't you doing that? Why, what, just use a trap. Let me just capture you. How did that hit me? I was actually a million miles away. That's crazy. This game sucks. And just like that, we have extracted a nurse spider away from its Spider Queen, and we will give it a little scan, and we have unlocked the super hardy circuit. This circuit grants you 100 bonus max health for 2 circuit charges. And with the skills I have unlocked, it also gives me armor. A very small amount, but still armor nonetheless, so I won't take full damage from anything. So despite all of my roto map scanning, I still haven't found every single shadow piece. Where are they hiding? Like, it surely has to be just in here somewhere. There's like two or three big strands. Oh, egg laying animation. Marauders have a 5% chance to drop a message in a bottle, which would be really cool if we got, because it would mean it would reveal what... Oh my goodness, no way, it dropped me a message in a bottle. Oh my goodness, we got it. No way. It would reveal where Pearl is. But I already knew where Pearl was, so that's not overly useful. Oh, you can see the tip of Lunar Island, so we know what that is. And we know where cookie cutters are as well, which is very cool. Yo, hey look, it's the rare boulder. I'll remember that's there, maybe. Lucky us, we also found the suspicious boulder. I won't mine it now because, you know, we don't have any space. But that will have the orb, which we need to summon Celestial Champion much later on. This is kind of whack, not getting the Shadow Pieces day 11 when I have, like, all this map revealing potential. Here, you can have the message in a bottle. Glommy? Glommy. These guys should be recovering from being werepigs, so I can just go in and grab it. A good trick for taking care of the terrarium pigs, if you have this set piece, is immediately after a full moon, pigs will immediately recover from becoming werepigs. So these guys will be asleep, so you can quickly rush in there and grab the terrarium. This only works if the area has been unloaded since a full moon has happened, and then once you run in there, it will take a while for them to wake back up. Oh my goodness, another clockwork night for me to scan and kill. My thirst for gears is that of a bottomless pit. Alright, let's dump some stuff here. This isn't where we are bassing, but it's where I'm going to dump some stuff. And that's it. We have found the Shadow Piece set piece. So any pieces that I have found thus far, I will be taking back here. For now, I'm going to be setting up all my transport drones as just temporary storage, because this will be the base until we kill the Shadow Pieces. Now, usually when you move the suspicious marble pieces, they are very, very slow. In fact, they give you an 85% speed reduction modifier. But thanks to my skills and my triple speed circuits, it's 0.85 multiplied by 0.25, reducing it down to 0.2125. So I'm only being slowed down by 21%. Minor Hat coming in clutch, allowing me to transport the pieces during nighttime, because I do not have any light circuits plugged in quite yet. Do I make a piggyback though? Probably should. Now all the pieces are placed and ready for the night of day 21. But it is not that simple. As you remember, we do want multiple hearts. So after I spawn these guys, I'll have to spawn in more so I can get more level 3 shadow pieces to get more hearts. But that's not until day 21. That's for future Jake to worry about. Now it's time for our ruins rush. Let's make some gold tools and get ready to get going. As part of my preparations, I've got myself a piggyback. This normally reduces your speed by 10%, but thanks to my speed circuits, it actually only reduces my speed by 2.5%. So still, it is still reducing my speed, but just not by a lot. I didn't tell you to pick any of that up. All right. Now that we're down here, and would you look at that, I'm able to drag my roto mappers across the map to uncover everything between them and me. We'll drag you like straight down. That way. You straight down. I'm also gathering some blue mushrooms because, you know, while WX can eat gears to heal every single stat, I'd rather save them for crafting, but I will use them as a last resort if necessary. Oh my goodness, Hutch! I'm going to scan a Slurtle to unlock the blocking circuit and get some biodata, but I'm not going to be making it. You want to know why? Because Snurtle helmets have like a 10% drop rate, and they have like 1200 or 1600 health each. It's crazy. I ain't doing all that. Oh my goodness, Toadstool. Slurpers though. Here's what we want, a slurper. By scanning a slurper, you can unlock the super gastrogene circuit. I also need a slurper pelt to craft that, along with biodata and the normal gastrogene circuit. And there it is, a whole pelt for my super gastrogene circuit. So naturally, we have to tear all the circuits out so that I can make myself my super gastrogene circuit. Or super gastrogene. Not only does this increase your maximum hunger, but it also decreases your hunger rate by 20%. Except it decreases it more if you have skills active, which I do. And we have found the ruins. Recruiting a bishop is kind of legit, I might do that. Thanks to my chess master circuit, all of the clockworks will be neutral to me, but they will not be neutral to Hutch. They will be bullying Hutch, but if I so please, I can also just recruit the clockworks. Oh wait, I didn't grab my twigs. Okay, I have to leave. I don't know, I just dropped my hand back, man. So even though I found the ruins, I'm heading back out because I forgot to go to the lunar mushroom biome so that I can scan a light bug to unlock the super illumination circuit. That would be my primary light source for the entire run, but especially for the ruins rush. And there it is, super illumination circuit requiring fireflies, biodata, and the illumination circuit. And it only takes up one slot, and thanks to my skills, it points out in a cone in front of me rather than just a small circle around me. Hell yeah. Well, there's two of them. Nice, I got his nose first time. Sick. Good. Alright, day 15, we know where everything is, but now I have to go to the ruins, loot it, kill Ancient Guardian, and such and such. Let's make that their medallion. After crafting the Soulsight medallion, I didn't realize Ancient Guardian was right here all along. Anyway, let's go fight some Ancient Guardian, shall we? Of course, we want to spend not a lot of time in the ruins because we want to extract maximum value, which usually starts with killing Ancient Guardian. But I made a mag to make it even easier, even though I already have, you know, lots of speed, triple speed in fact. Now the Ancient Guardian fight is an absolute breeze because I have 150% speed bonus multiplied by Magiluminescence 1.2. So 1.5 multiplied by 1.2, that equals a lot, far too much. So if I get hit, massive skill issue because I have massive PP speed. I'm also equipping and unequipping my Magiluminescence occasionally to do a little bit of animation cancelling. This way I can cancel the tail end of the animation where damage is already done but it's a bit of animation, so I can start the next attack sooner to do more damage, so Ancient Guardian dies faster! So many tentacles. Ancient Guardian has perished and he has given me green gems. That means we are happy. Green gems equals happy. We also got a Starcaller staff. That's kind of whatever. I would have preferred a Lazy Explorer, but that does save us a living log, but we had plenty of those, so boo! But green gem's good. Green gem's good. Okay, now I need to go find the other ruins branch for the chair blueprint. Is there not a chair relic? There's no chair relic here. I mean, hopefully there's another room with a chair relic. So now that I have plenty of materials, including 8 green gems, 19 red gems, I'm going to repair one of my ancient pseudoscience stations. And as I do that, the nightmare phase starts, which is that's welcome because, you know, nightmare fuel is juicy. We like some nightmare fuel. We need it for many an ingredient, see, many an ingredient. But I'm also taking out the shadow creatures now because, if you didn't know, 2 shadow creatures can come from each nightmare light, but they filter out slowly one at a time. So as long as you kill them just almost as soon as they spawn, then when the second round of them spawns, you won't be overrun, because you've already killed the first round. And then once you've killed all of the ones that spawn from the nightmare lights, they don't spawn from nightmare lights anymore for that nightmare phase. Only your normal nightmare creatures will spawn. Anything that I don't need to craft in the ruins, I am just sending off in the drones. Oh, I have to go back there. Once I've done crafting my final items, I use my drones to send them back off to the entrance, because I probably won't have room for everything I can craft, which is cool because it means I can craft way more than I usually would, including plenty of construction amulets, deconstruction staffs, and armor and such as Starcaller staffs. We will be doing a lot of duping later on as well for shadow equipment, yes. Stop picking up garbage that I don't want. Alright, let's get out of here. With all my stuff and things crafted, it's time to head out. Or is it time to leave? No, it's not. It's time to fight the Nightmare Werepiggy. Because Nightmare Werepig drops shadow, stuff and things, which I would like. With light and plenty of speed, getting these Nightmare Rats is easy peasy lemon and squeezy. Anyway, this fight should be easy without getting hit, because oh my gosh, Jake got hit again. This should be very easy to do because I have a bajillion speed bonus so I can dodge absolutely everything, including just ignoring the nightmare creatures, but I will choose to fight them. If you didn't know, once Nightmare Epic does 3 swipes and misses you, he will enter a down state where you can get some free DPS. Once Werepig has been drilled below 5,000 health, he can now start punching. Using this punch, we can destroy the Dreadstone pillars to get Dreadstone. If you don't use his punch to destroy the pillars, you just don't get any Dreadstone. Now that the pillars are destroyed, we can keep going with the fight.
Day 20, oh boy, I gotta get back.
There it is. Nightmare Werepig has been defeated. And Dreadstone armor, Dreadstone pillar, and such has been unlocked. Returning to the surface on day 20 gives us just over 15 minutes of preparation time for the shadow pieces. Oh, blimey. What's up, gamers? It's your boy Banjo, the Business Pig. Wow, jet fuel prices are extortionate. Hey, WX, did you let some of your drones loose in the heterosexual hummus? It took me forever to force my way through. Anyway, do you like my plane? Yeah, me too. But you know what else has planes? That's right. This video is sponsored by War Thunder. War Thunder is the tippy-toppiest vehicle combat game ever, and it's available for free on PC, console, and mobiles. That War Thunder mobile app is new and super heavily optimized. But why is War Thunder the best, Jakey? Well, because they've sponsored me not once, but twice. And only the coolest fellas sponsor me. But also, I played some War Thunder before, and I've played it again, and it's a banging game. My favorite type of vehicle to play is the tanks and planes, because I'm bad at playing with the battleships. It's also Squishy the Tortoise's favorite because it allows him to fight back against the tyrannical Mr. Scruffles. Speaking of vehicles, there are over 2,500 different ones to choose from. Tanks, planes, helicopters, and ships, based on historically accurate records from 10 major nations. But not only are these vehicles historically accurate, such as biplanes from the 1920s, but it also includes modern fighter jets and tanks of the modern age. My top activities to do in War Thunder are joining tank PvP battles to sneak around all stealthy-like, and aiming at other tanks' specific weak points, taking out their crew in one shot, typically just below the back of the turret. And you can do this because War Thunder has a highly in-depth vehicle damage system, and I'll join a dogfight with all kinds of planes and pick people off who are worse than me. Join a global community of over 95 million players already, and immerse yourself in War Thunder's rich graphics, sound effects, and design by joining epic PvP battles and fight it out with your war machine of choosing. So download War Thunder using my links in the pinned comment or description, and if you're a new or returning player on PC and consoles that haven't played in the last 6 months, you'll get a massive bonus pack including multiple premium vehicles along with exclusive vehicle decor. This bonus pack is limited time, so click the links to make sure you get it. Remember, War Thunder is free and is available on iOS, Android, PC, PlayStation, and Xbox. Thanks to War Thunder for sponsoring this video and the channel once again. Now that I've fixed my plane, I'm gonna drive it into the sky with stealth mode. That's why you can't see me. It's not a bug, it's a feature. And anyway, I'm leaving. Goodbye. And I'm unplugging some circuits now because it is winter soon, which means we're gonna want one of those thermal circuits. Thermal circuits stop you from freezing in winter by increasing your temperature 20 degrees above the ambient, which translates to you just never take freezing damage in winter. And now we have the full trifecta. We've got the super gastro gain, the super processing unit, and the super hardy circuit. That's the super versions of health, hunger, and sanity. So we've got increased stats across the board, and we got extra armor from the super hardy, reduced hunger rate from the hunger one, and we have half sanity drain from the sanity one, which is a really big deal because during the shadow pieces fight, you're fighting shadows very spooky, and they do actually drain your sanity, especially if you're fighting multiple level 3 pieces, which I will be. But gears will be my saving grace if my sanity drops too low.
Right, what are we doing? Yeah, I'm unplugging these guys because they're super annoying.
Day 21 is here. We want to take out Fuel Weaver really fast because of course we want to unlock the Shadow Rifts to get the Shadow Maul. But that also means we want a Lazy Explorer. You can do Fuel Weaver without a Lazy Explorer, but that means you have to be good at the game, and I'm not good at dodging Fuel Weaver's bone cages. And when I say not good, I mean I can't do it full stop. So that's why we need the Lazy Explorer, so we can teleport out of them. By bum rushing Magtusk, we can just run right up to him and get a few smacks in. If you're lucky, you might be able to kill him before he runs away, but otherwise, give him a few smacks and hope that he drops the cane. We do have the Full Sight Club, which does give an extra 10% speed bonus, which will be good until we get the walking cane. But the first Magtusk does not drop the walking cane. Silly little Magtusk.
Yo, we just punched out a dart. That's crazy. Are you a dart monkey? Nice, you get a cane. What the hell?
The second Magtusk also did not give us a walking cane or a Magtusk tusk, which is not good. Nicht sehr gut, perhaps, because we want a Magtusk so we can make the walking cane! Even the third Magtusk did not drop us a cane. What the helly-welly is this?
Bruh, really? No cane?
Desperate times calls for desperate measures. That means going all the way across the map to the Moonstone Forest to kill the fourth and final Magtusk. And success, he dropped us the Magtusk cane. Hell yeah. Or the Magtusk tusk, which we can turn into a cane. But it is almost the night of day 21, Jakey. You gotta hurry up, Jakey. You might fail the run. Well, obviously he didn't because he made it into a video. But let's keep going. Hounds are chasing me. The statues are rumbling. And I don't have the walking cane. Jakey, it's almost the end of day 21. You gotta hurry up. You gotta mind those statues, so otherwise you can't mind them. Goodness gracious. Goodness gracious. In the last 15 seconds of the night of day 21, Jakey finally gives the Clockwork Knight, Shadow Clockwork Knight's piece, a little bit of a love tap with the pick/axe, and we are starting to fight. But we don't want to start killing anything quite yet, because now Jakey has to do a little bit of fandangling, you see. We've got to make, that's right, the, I forgot what it's called, the thing that you can make statues on, the crafting station you make statues on, because we want to make more rooks.
Oh wait, I'm dumb. I can't do it. I have to make the knight as well. Oh, I have to make 2 rooks and a knight.
Jakey, you fool! You killed the Clockwork Knight! That means when you make more rooks, you also have to make another knight, because the rooks need to be leveled up by you killing a knight, and otherwise they won't level up, and they won't get to level 3. So the knight that died prematurely, I have created a second one, and now we need to make our extra rooks. But how many rooks? I think we'll do 3 whole rooks. Now the fight half day later is ready to set sail. We have the 3 rooks, and the knight that I didn't kill, but I did kill, and the bishop, and it is time. Finally, all the rooks and the bishop are level 2 and ripe for the killing. It is time for the bishop to perish. The level 2 bishop is down. The triple level 3 scary shadow rook has arrived.
Alright, moment of truth. Do I have enough speed bonus? Oh, I think so. It's scary, but I think I have enough speed bonus.
Now you can sync up their attacks, but they have variable attack rates, so they would eventually desync anyway, but it probably is more efficient to actually sync them up. Now despite me getting the stuff for a walking cane, I didn't actually make it. I'm using the Full Sight Club, the mag, and my double speed, and that is enough to dodge the rooks, as long as I don't mess up like I just did there.
Doesn't help that I barely have enough speed bonus.
We are down to a single crown and dreadstone helmet. Will I be able to take out the rooks? Will I go insane? I won't go insane because I have gears. And thanks to my super processing unit, I am receiving half the sanity drain from these level 3 shadow rooks than normal. I am trying quite hard to focus on one shadow rook rather than just attacking the one that's closest, because the fight will be substantially faster by focusing down one rook at a time. Otherwise, all 3 will take forever and they will all die at the same time, but the fight overall will take forever. Rather, if I can focus down one rook, that's one less dodge I have to do, which means I can attack a bit more often. Boom, the first rook is down. The fight should only get easier from here.
Nice.
Boom, the third rook has perished.
Boom! Triple rook. Why do we need 3 hearts? Well, 1 for me, 1 for Fuel Weaver, and 1 to make my Maul. Plug this bad boy in. Oh yeah, and now we've unlocked these guys, which are like kind of sick.
Finally, I have triple hearts. What are we going to do with these hearts? Well, the first one I'm just going to plug right into myself, because now instead of unlocking things that grab things off the floor, I have unlocked the exploiterators. I can make 3 of them at this time with the shadow heart plugged in, and what these things do is when I craft them, they'll follow me around, and anything that I target and attack, they will start scanning, and immediately upon scanning, each of them will give me a damage bonus. With 3 of them active, they will give me an 18% damage bonus. That's not huge, but it's still better than nothing. The shadow heart also has other effects, which we'll see later on. So the next goal now is Ancient Fuel Weaver, and that of course starts with Wabbits. We want the Prestidigitator to make the Shadow Manipulator to make the Nightmare Amulet. Pinky will give me lots of gold when I give him all the frazzled wires.
The struggle of no super illumination circuit, dude. Oh, I don't want to go down to single speed, that's crazy.
Unfortunately, with double speed and 1 thermal circuit, which stops me from freezing in winter, I do not have room for a light circuit, so I am having to flick the Magiluminescence on to keep Charlie away. One of these, please.
Oh, hell yeah, make another dark sword. Worth. So I can make my damage, fellas. Yes, the damage, fellas, here we go, exploiterators.
With my 3 exploiterators in play, I am prepared and ready for the Ancient Fuel Weaver. Except not yet, because I made the walking cane, but I did not turn it into a lazy explorer. So we must do that in the ruins.
Alright, lazy explorer required. That's the atrium, right? That's atrium rocks. So it's nowhere near the ruins.
Luckily for me, my exploring bots found where the atrium was on the actual map, so I didn't have to use or find the tentapillar. So by putting a star crawlers down, I can see far enough to just telepoof all the way to the atrium. Hell yeah.
Oh yeah, we're here. Oh boy. Oh wait, I've got this thing so they don't attack me! Yo, I've got an idea. Oh, I'm so smart. Oh my goodness, I'm so smart.
And thanks to the Chessmaster circuit, the Clockworks won't attack me. And I can even just recruit a few bishops for the Fuel Weaver fight. They might help with killing some of the minions. Because if you didn't know, the bishops' attacks were changed so that they are AoE attacks now, meaning they can deal with minions somewhat easily. Here we are, day 26 Shadow Fuel Weaver. Will I succeed? Let's find out. I've got speed, the lazy explorer for teleports, but the only way I can deal with the minions is the bishops if they survive that long. Otherwise, I have to use purely my skill to keep Fuel Weaver away from the healers.
You know what, go kill all the bishops actually. Go kill all the bishops, they're really annoying. The bishops kind of set the fight off really rad to start.
At this point in the fight, I'm thinking the bishops are just going to cause more of a nuisance because they're going to pull Fuel Weaver's aggro away such that I won't be able to lure the minions. So I just stop attacking Fuel Weaver and let Fuel Weaver kill the bishops. And then I enter phase 2, but I've made a mistake already. I was meant to drag Fuel Weaver out of his circle before triggering phase 2, because as you can see, the minions are spawning all around him.
Like, why are there 2 shadow creatures on me?
Quick thinking Jakey unequipped the Dreadstone helmet because it was at 2% about to be broken. But my Thulsite crown has now broken and I am down to only knight armor. Will I run out of armor? Or will I run out of health? Or will Fuel Weaver run out of life?
Oh my goodness. Oh, what's that? You equipped a Nightmare Amulet for a fraction of a second? Oh, it's Nightmare Creature time.
Every time Fuel Weaver eats, he heals for 400 health. That is 5 of my hits from a Dark Sword because I'm doing 80 per hit. So that is pretty substantial. Every time I get hit while wearing knight armor, it drains my sanity proportional to the amount of damage that it took for me, meaning I'm going insane much faster than usual. Also, remember the super processing circuit I mentioned earlier? That is plugged in, which is reducing all my sanity auras by half. So despite Fuel Weaver's sanity aura being cut in half, I am still going insane pretty often.
Idiot. Actually the worst boss ever. And I forgot the Dreadstone. There it is. The Fuel Weavy Chibi has been defeated.
But we have only just started. This will unlock all of our final gear, once the rifts at least open. And then we will acquire our best in slot gear and be unstoppable.
Alright, let's go get the Dreadstone that I forgot.
Unfortunately, I forgot to bring the Dreadstone to give to Charlie. Silly me, that's actually a massive time loss. I killed Fuiver like a day before this, but so, oh well. I'm gonna get day 33 and a half rifts rather than day like 27. Ah well. Of course, giving Dreadstone to Charlie will enable the Shadow Rifts 5 days after you do so.
Bruh!
The ancient gateway has been repaired. So day 33 and a half Shadow Rift is our next target. So we want to come back to the caves in 5 days to farm all of the shadow materials. And not only farm them down here, but once we take them back to the surface, we're then going to dupe them with all the green magic we have. And you know what's the best item to dupe the shadow equipment with? The Nightmare Saddle. Do you know what the Nightmare Saddle requires? That's right, a Shadow Heart. So we're going to have to enchant a Shadow Heart to make it a Possessed Shadow Heart, and then dupe all the Shadow gear. So I can make lots of Void gear and lots of Void repair kits.
Alright, now we go back down day 33. I was meant to go to the ruins to craft. No! Like, I didn't mean to do that, like, at all.
Oops, I didn't mean to eat that Pure Horror. This effect hasn't come into play yet, but if you eat Nightmare Fuel or Pure Horror as Shadow WX, it artificially cranks your WX charges to max, keeping them maxed out for a short period of time. Pure Horror is much longer time than Nightmare Fuel, but otherwise, if your charges are drained for whatever reason, you can chug a Nightmare Fuel or Pure Horror to artificially and temporarily keep them maxed out, activating all of your circuits for that limited time. So now that I'm not really in a rush anymore, I've done all the main things, that being the shadow pieces and Fuiver, and now I'm kind of waiting for shadow rifts to happen. I'm moving my base to my range booster body, which is just the middle of the map, using all of my beautiful transport drones to move all of my stuff and things, you see, with little effort. Wow. These are my favorite drones, they're so good. If you put Chester's Eyebone in one of your transport drones, then move the transport drone, Chester will follow the transport drone, effectively just giving you more inventory space for that transport drone. And we've arrived at the new Bass location with my range booster body and my absolute army of transport drones. Look at them all, they're beautiful. Rather than making actual chests, I'm just going to leave a couple of transport drones on the floor so I can use them as temporary storage. Pretty cheap, 3 slots each.
I even need to place them here, I'll just throw everything everywhere. Oh my goodness, Chester, Deerclops is coming! Ah!
Is that a Deerclops I hear?
A Clopsy. Fellas? Oh wait, where's Jimothy? Jimothy? Jimothy, where are you? Jimothy? He's by the sinkhole. Yeah, I got all my circuits.
But Jakey, why aren't you killing Deerclops? Well, I'm thinking that I might be able to get in and out of the ruins and make my Shadow Maul before Deerclops despawns when spring starts. And the reason why I kind of want to save some boss kills is that every time you kill 3 bosses with the Shadow Maul, it levels up to a maximum of level 3. When it levels up, it does more damage and gets an effect of it can heal you and heals you more the higher level it is. So I kind of want to save as many boss kills as I can for the Shadow Maul to devour.
I kind of wanted to make night sculptures. Hey look, we found Clawsack. I wanted to make night sculptures so I could kill Clockworks for gears.
Day 31 night is upon us. You know what that means? That's right. It's time for the Moonstone event. And I picked up the Sonic Invoker Circuit really early on, if you remember and were paying attention. Sonic Invoker Circuit with the tinkering skills will allow me to emit a sonic wave perpetually until I move. And what this does is make all non-boss mobs panic around you in about a 3-tower radius. Unless you have 2 of the circuit plugged in, there's a 6-tower radius. And as long as I stay in the stance, everything will keep panicking. Except one hound did get through. Now what happened there is the hound got out of my panic range, then after it got out of the panic range it aimed for the Moonstone again, and then when it came back to bite the Moonstone it didn't get panicked again in time such that it got 1 bite on the Moonstone. I never had a Moonstone event fail, but I guess if you get unlucky enough it might happen, but we succeeded this time. The Mooncaller's staff is ours.
Don't attack my Glommy. Oh, it's coming for you, Glommy. Run!
Ow! We have returned to the ruins to make the, I always get it wrong, the plinth kit, the Shadowcraft plinth kit. We can use this to make our shadow equipment, the endgame shadow equipment. And it's also pretty funny, with the bone helmet and the chestmaster circuit, I am completely immune to everything in the ruins. The clockworks do not attack me, and the shadow creatures, they are forced to ignore me because I have the bone helmet. Although it is very scary with all these shadow creatures following me. I'm being a little bit greedy and extracting all of the remaining green gems in the ruins. And also the ruins would have reset because I killed Fuiver, of course.
Uh-oh.
Ah! Ah! Crown, save me!
Wait, what? Oh, an Ica! Okay. Sure. To run away from the monkeys, I unequipped my light source to put a helmet on in case I got hit. But by doing that, I ran squarely into an Ica. These Icas, when they grab you, you have to run right into them, so this is kind of deserved. But when they do that, they chew you up, do a punch of damage, and then spit you out. But before they spit you out, they take one of your equipped items. In this case, my backpack, which had my Shadowcraft plinth in it, which I really wanted. That's the whole reason I came here. So I'm gonna have to get that back. But I don't have strong enough weapons to kill the Ica. So we're gonna have to kill the ink blights. But I have no way of getting the snakes out of the void. I don't even have grass. I give up, actually. I can't bother. Everything went wrong. We're angry today. Wait, what happened? I'm the best bug abuser in the world. I'm actually the best bug abuser ever. Did you see that? The ink blights just instantly... I legit didn't do anything. That was the game. I'm actually too good at the game, dude. At this point, since I have come back fruitless, partially fruitless, because I do not have the Shadowcraft plinth, otherwise I'd be able to make my move. So before Dayclops despawns on day 36, I'm just going to kill him now on day 34, to make sure he's dead. But this didn't really matter, because I'm going to be killing Dayclops again in our second winter, because of course, we need to kill Crystal Dayclops for this complete boss rush. Oh my goodness, what's it gonna steal now? Like, I'm actually so tilted. Jiggy did not learn from his first lesson, and I run into another Ica, but this one steals my Lazy Explorer. We simply can't have that. Give it back! Luckily, it didn't steal my light source, but it did almost spit me into another Ica. I'm not sure if I have enough damage to kill the Ica. You see, the deal with the Icas is they regenerate health. Except if you hit them with electric damage. Then it straight up destroys some of their blobs so they can't regenerate. So my Bishop is doing some sick gaming right now, by preventing it from regenerating. Hell yeah, thanks Bishop. Now, I must go find the Ica that stole my backpack that had my plinth kit in it. There it is. Give it back. Where's my Bishop? Are you stupid? I'm just whacking it with my Lazy Explorer just to get my Bishop to attack it, because my Bishop's electric damage will prevent it from generating and otherwise just like kind of destroy it. I actually can't. Okay, we got him. Good grief. Hell yeah, backpack retrieved. Let's go on with the plan. The rift open, it's just been raining non-stop. This whole time we've been tanking the acid rain in the caves. This is activated when you activate endgame mode in the caves with the shadow rifts. It can, instead of raining, it can acid rain, which spoils stuff in your inventory and otherwise drains your health and your head item slot, if it is trying to protect you from the rain. The next order of Biz Wars is enchanting one of my hearts. That's right, making it a possessed heart. What? No. I definitely brought grass. You have one? Oh yeah, right, nice. I was literally about to rage quit. Thank you for telling me that. I love not being able to see. Give me that bat. Dang it. By putting one of my shadow atriums directly into a chest and hoping that's a mimic. This one, fortunately, was a mimic. Then once I kill it, it becomes a possessed shadow heart, which I need to capture with a trap. This possessed shadow heart is needed for, well, a few things. I need it to make the shadow maul, I need it to make a shadow saddle, but I'm gonna make the shadow saddle and use that to dupe to get the materials, then make my shadow maul afterwards. But the other thing I can use it for is I can plug it into myself or an inactive chassis for bonus effects. So I need to get another shadow heart soon. So I'm gonna need to imbue another shadow heart. Possess it, that is. Like, why is it still raining? Why is it still raining? It's been raining for 3 days. This game is so fun and uncompromising. Simply, ooh. Thanks to that bug earlier where the ink-like snakes despawned but also died, so I got their drops, they seem to have respawned really fast and have respawned again. And I'm trying to use the Bishop's AoE attack to knock them out of the void. But it doesn't seem to be working, so I abandoned ship. To dupe up all of my endgame nightmare gear, I want to, that's right, make a nightmare saddle.
It's just the one item that requires a possessed Shadow Atrium, and it just takes the most Void Cloth and the most Pure Horror, so it's just the best thing to dupe with. So I'm going to be using pretty much all of my green magic to half the construction cost with a construction amulet, then deconstruct it with a deconstruction staff, then capture the heart again, and repeat the process. Then once I've duped enough stuff, I'm going to use that possessed heart to make my Shadow Maul.
Boom! The Shadow Maul is born unto this world.
Shadow Maul acquired. For now, the Maul is level 0, and I'm attacking at normal speed with it because I do not have my spin circuits yet, but it is sprint, which means soon I will acquire my spin circuits.
I guess I can make a Dreadstone body, so I don't have to use as much Void Robe. That's fine. Oh, I used bone armor. What am I thinking? Silly boy. Scan the children while they sleep, Jimothy.
Scanning a Mouscous in passive or angry form will unlock the spin cycle circuit. This is the circuit we want. After killing a Mouscous to get some feathers, I can craft it, but not just one. I want 2 of them, because plugging in 2 of them increases the speed of which that I will spin. And we're of course going to plug back in the Chess Master circuit because it's just pretty good.
Bruh. I'm getting licked by frogs. I will Gloomerang you to death. Ow. Bruh, what? This frog though? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, I'll do double spin cycle and the clockwork one, because that's good.
But Jake, you already killed the Mouscous, why are you killing it again? Well, every Mouscous I kill counts as a boss kill for the Shadow Maul, leveling up or progressing towards the next level. So in total, you want to kill 9 bosses after you've made the Maul, but you have to do it with the Maul. Or at least the Maul has to damage the boss, I think within 5 seconds of it dying, and then it counts towards the kill. As you can see, the double spin cycle circuit allows me to spin with axe weapons, including the Shadow Maul, because it counts as an axe. This spin grants AoE attack, so now every time I spin, I hit everything around me. And also, I straight up just attack faster, up to about 34% faster in the right conditions. But even in the wrong conditions, I'm still attacking about 14% faster. But it's not all upsides. If I spin for over 12 seconds straight, I'll enter a dizzy state and be stunned for about a second, and I will be prevented from spinning for very long if I don't wait 1 or 2 seconds after I hit the dizzy animation, or after I recover from the dizzy animation. Regardless if you hit the dizzy animation or not, it's still worth it to just constantly spin. And then when you hit the dizzy animation, you just wait for 1 or 2 seconds after you recover to get rid of all the dizziness, and you can see the dizziness build up because it is above WX's head. The little spinny animation.
Yes, level 1 Maul.
Our Shadow Maul is level 1. That means increased damage, and I have unlocked its lifesteal ability. So I regenerate health with every hit, but it also drains sanity with every hit that I use to heal. And this is where I have to start being a little bit careful. If I break my Shadow Maul, so get its durability all the way down to 0, it loses all of its leveling progress, which means if I get it to level 3, then it breaks, I lose all the progress, so I have to kill 9 more bosses. Which means if I get it to level 3, then run it all the way down to 0% durability, I'll have to kill 9 more bosses to get it back to level 3, because it loses all of its progress, of course. Volkos, you are not safe from the Gloomerang. I'm now realizing that I actually want an extra Shadow Heart, an extra Shadow Atrium. That way, I can start duplicating items with its special effect. But we'll see how that works a little later on. But before that, let's take out the Eye of Terror for a free boss kill, or relatively free. Weak bosses like the Eye of Terror also count as a boss kill for the Shadow Maul. But unfortunately, things like tree guards don't count. Did I say 1 Shadow Heart? Because I meant 2. We're going to be fighting 2 level 3 rooks. That'll be 5 total level 3 pieces in this whole run. But let's also fight the Eye of Terror at the same time. Now this is kind of a mess. I probably should have just fought these things separately, but I can only spawn the Shadow pieces on the night of day 41, so well. And there it is, the level 3 rooks are here. Once again, I'm going to try to focus down one rook, but nightmare creatures don't pose as big of a threat as before.
And I can kill you both at the same time, isn't that epic?
Because if they bite me, my bone armor will prevent me from getting staggered, so the rooks won't then chain hit me after that. And when the rooks are stacked up, I'm dealing damage to both of them thanks to the AoE of the spin cycle circuit.
Level 2, please. Oh my goodness, level 2, yippee!
And there it is, 2 more hearts have been acquired. I will be enchanting these hearts so they can do their special duplicating effect. Eye of Terror has been defeated. So a fun thing about the Maul draining sanity is your AoE attacks don't care. Because you're attacking the boss, then your Maul drains your sanity, the sanity creatures come close to you trying to attack, but then the AoE of your Maul just kills the sanity creatures, healing you even more. But this does mean I am draining through a lot of durability of the Maul, so I need lots of repair kits. And that is why we did lots of duplicating very early on. Even though we did lots of duplicating, I will not miss a chance to farm some more ink blights.
Yippee!
And thanks to my spin cycle circuit, I now have a way of getting the ink blight snakes out of the void. As long as I spin for some reason, like picking Lichen, it will also attack the snakes in the invisible void, triggering them to come out and get stunned, and they'll be stunned for just long enough for me to kill them.
Should be one more. Maybe it's gonna only enchant one heart at a time.
We're heading back to the Ancient Guardian's Labyrinth to get 2 more possessed hearts.
Can you put a star down? Oh my goodness. Cool. All of my loot just got dumped into the void. That's so cool and epic. So very cool. I love this game.
And we found some more green gems, so let's just make some more deconstruction stuff. So I've placed another chassis a little bit further away from my base, and I'm going to directly plant a possessed Shadow Atrium into that body. Now, what this body will do is it will generate mimics, shadow mimics over time. What these mimics do is they search and find equipment close by, and then they duplicate that equipment. So the idea is I can now duplicate equipment and then use that equipment for free. But wait, Jakey, when shadow mimics mimic equipment, you can't actually use the equipment, which is true, except if you are WX-78 with a possessed Shadow Atrium plugged in. If you are a WX-78 with the possessed Shadow Atrium plugged in, you can use mimicked tools and weapons and other equipment. This means that this chassis that makes shadow mimics effectively just generates free tools, free weapons, free armor, just free equipment. Anything that you can equip but doesn't have slots themselves, like the Enlightened Crown, it will otherwise mimic.
I'm gonna have to massacre you all. You're actually getting kind of annoying. Time to die.
These beefalo are causing too much problems. It's time for a massacre.
Yes, I have to massacre your children as well, otherwise they'll grow up to hate me. I think Krampus would have just spawned. Yeah. Could have scanned him. Ah well. Oh yeah, I have a... Oh, what the hell? I have a normal heart. I was meant to give myself a possessed heart. Good thing I went and got an extra one. You can have the normal heart, I suppose. Finally, 4 exploiterators that I forgot to make. Look at all the different skins they have. Oh my goodness.
And also with the Possessed Shadow Atrium plugged in, I can make 4 exploiterators instead of 3, granting me 24% physical damage bonus rather than 18. While 24% does sound like a lot, it's unfortunately not as good as it seems, because it only buffs physical damage. And of course, in the endgame, most weapons do planar damage, including the Shadow Maul. A lot of its damage is planar damage. So the buff is still good, but it isn't 24% good.
I'm going to drop this here in hopes that it dupes the bone armor.
By having multiple bone armors, I can switch between them to block multiple attacks in a shorter time window than just one bone armor would allow.
Should we just go and eat Bee Queen? Let's do that. rather than doing pearl stuff.
The Bee Queen fight is where the Shadow Maul shines. Its damage, life regeneration, and the spin cycle circuit means Bee Queen just can't kill me, and I constantly kill her minions. And even if I didn't kill her minions, I have pretty high stagger resistance while I'm spinning, so they wouldn't even stagger me out of spinning. But that's not the case, because my spinning simply kills them. So Bee Queen is just a 22,000 health punching bag.
Oh, I actually hit the dizzy state. That's crazy. That doesn't happen usually. Get chomped by the mole. Yippee, bundling wrap. I can make my beam booster kit. I could just fight and raise Dragonfly, but I don't have any healing actually. Finally, stop rain. Time for Dragonfly with double bone armor. Equip that bone. I know you want to. Boom! Triple bone armor. I don't know which is the real one though. Come, Chesty. We're gonna go to kill Dragonfly with triple bone armor. Yo, mimics are kind of legit. Or is the pigman here? All right, I'm so ready.
Now it's time to fight Dragonfly, but you'll see that I have triple bone armor. That's right, triple. 2 of those are duplicates, and 1 of those are the real deal. But for my purposes, they are all exactly the same. They all work as regular bone armor, but I still need to refuel even the duped ones. Let's kill Dragonfly, but without a pan flute or an ice staff. While Dragonfly's minions do pose a mild threat, I am able to kill them even if there's multiple on me at once, of course because I can spin. And including, I can also take care of the stupid hounds that keep infuriatingly interrupting the fight. Oh baby, it's Enraged Dragonfly time. I lied to you. This is why we have the triple bone armor. Enraged Dragonfly attacks a lot faster than normal Dragonfly, meaning you need that triple bone armor unless you want to get smashed directly in the face. When you equip a new bone armor, it actually does have a cooldown. It doesn't instantly grant you the shield once you get attacked. If I equip it right before Dragonfly attacks, because it will still be on cooldown, it just won't block the attack and I'll get smacked in the face. And Enraged Dragonfly does a lot of damage. And that's not even mentioning Enraged Dragonfly's burning aura, doing fire damage to anything nearby. Thankfully, if I do get in trouble and my bone armors are on cooldown or I make a mistake, I do have enough speed with the Magiluminescence and the cane to outrun even Enraged Dragonfly, but only just. Despite my triple bone armor, I still need to dodge Dragonfly's triple pound attack because I can't switch bone armor fast enough to block all 3 pounds.
Don't break them all though. Uh-oh. Oh my god, the shadow creature bit my armor. I was gonna run away with the mag. Oh, it bit my bone armor again! I love doing Enraged Dragonfly with triple bone armor. Yeah, baby.
Enraged Dragonfly has been defeated, and as my reward, my maul has leveled up to level 3. That means it has consumed 9 bosses, and is now doing maximum damage and healing me for the maximum amount per hit. Oh yeah, we are now at maximum power. 4 Vickies, spin cycle circuits, and shadow mauls. And bone armor.
I hate these things, they're so loud.
I don't know why I didn't do this earlier, but now I'm finally plugging in the beam booster circuit. This increases my sanity just like the super processing circuit, but it also grants me health regeneration. With a tinkering skill unlocked, it also grants you a shield which generates over time, but I don't have that skill unlocked, so only health regeneration for me. If you'd like to learn more, watch my WX guide. I've put grass and twigs next to one of my chassis, and that chassis I have made auto grabbers for. Now the cool thing about the drones that I have is they follow the chassis they were created for. So the auto grabbers I made in the other chassis will stay with that chassis, and while that chassis is inactive, it will pick grass and twigs nearby. So it's automatically going to harvest all my grass and twigs.
Alright, these are going to be my gathering, this is my gathering corpse. It will gather things for me, you see. Oh, for goodness sake. I will kill you all. Don't you understand?
Jakey, don't kill the frogs, it's a frog brain, they'll just keep spawning.
Oh my gosh, even if I chew them up, they just don't stop spawning. So annoying. I will kill you all, leave me alone. Yes, go attack the toolbird.
So someone in my Twitch chat, Mr. Dragon, advises me of a little strategy that I can use. You see, if your Shadow Maul breaks, it of course goes back to level 0, which is very devastating. So here was his strategy. Simply duplicate your real Shadow Maul, so you have a fake duplicated one, and then bundle wrap your original real Shadow Maul so that it doesn't drain durability from starvation. And then if you accidentally break your fake Shadow Maul, the one that was made by a Mimic, it doesn't matter because you could just get rid of it and then go duplicate another fake Shadow Maul using your real Shadow Maul. Banging strategy, and also means, yeah, if you break your Shadow Maul, it's not devastating because you could just literally just go make a new one. Thanks, Dragon, for your strategy.
So, that's the real Maul. So I'll use a duped Maul. This is also a duped Maul. This is the real Maul, but it will start starving eventually, so I'm gonna bundle that. Like, how are you always here?
But now I'm hungry for some gears. I don't remember why, but I do want some gears. So we're gonna hammer some knights and then start spinning.
Wait, since when do they spawn aggroed? Oh my goodness. Since when do they spawn aggroed? I specifically didn't attack them because I was like, okay, they won't be aggroed because I have the clockwork circuit in.
Now, I thought the knights would come out of their statues being a neutral, but actually, you hammering their statues counts as an act of aggression, so they all came out attacking me.
Alright, so this is the original Shadow Maul, I'm pretty sure. So we're gonna bundle that.
So I'm bundle wrapping the original Shadow Maul because if you didn't know, it has a hidden hunger mechanic. So if it doesn't kill some NPC in a allotted amount of time, it will start starving. And when it starts starving, its durability rapidly drains. Meaning if you just leave the Shadow Maul in any storage, it will eventually drain to 0% durability because it will be starving. But by bundling it up, it pauses that starvation. Approaching the scrapyard, I'm not here to kill the scrappy werepig. I am actually in fact here just for a blueprint. The Tingle Node blueprint. This is a blueprint for an electric fence item, which I am now able to craft. And don't worry, we'll be killing Scrappy Werepig, just not quite yet. Because if you leave Scrappy Werepig alive, you can technically farm infinite scrap, which is what we will need later on. Not infinite, but we'll need more. Now I'm doing a bunch of little tasks to get all my ingredients for Pearl's tasks. It's all very boring, so let's kind of skip through it. Hypercut time.
Oh my god, she puked out the pearl! Yippee!
And on the first day of summer, Pearl rewards us for all our hard work and gives us Pearl's Pearl. You know what that means. It's time for the next boss, the Krabby King.
Because duping weather panes is like kind of legit.
So using some materials, I make a weather pane. Weather panes are kind of expensive, but since I have Shadow Mimics, I can, of course, mimic and dupe them. So I'm going to leave my one real weather pane at the Shadow chassis that has one of the possessed atriums plugged into it. Then all the mimics it spawns will constantly mimic that one real weather pane. Then I can put the mimicked weather panes inside that chassis with the possessed Shadow atrium that will stop the mimics from reverting back to the true form. And that also frees up slots for more mimics to spawn, so I can potentially infinitely get a lot of weather panes. But let's see how many weather panes I end up getting. Now we do say goodbye to our triple speed because it is summer and I want to ignore the weather, which means I'm plugging in my cold circuit to stop me from overheating in summer. But I also want my super illumination circuit, so we've got a single speed, super illumination circuit, and the ice circuit.
I could plug in another super illumination. I don't have the stuff to make it though, so I will do nothing. Alright, where's Crab King? Let's just go straight to Crab King. Crab King is off there. Okay, cool.
So thanks to my rotomappers discovering most of the ocean before I even touched the ocean, I already know where cookie cutters are, along with Malbatross and Frostjaw.
I'll drop it because if it there we go, it just transformed. Oh, interesting, see that? I dropped it and it immediately transformed back. To me, what that says is that these mimicked items have hit their limit. They want to transform back into their original form, but being in this body stops them from doing that. So I can keep like collecting lots of them as long as I keep going back to the body. But we'll see. We'll see how many weather panes we can collect. All of this is duped, except these two. Very interesting. In fact, we should kill Malbatross first for the stronger ore. I even got the... I made the fishing rod for you and everything!
It is time for the Malbatross fight. I sail out to the oceans with my double bone armor, Shadow Maul, and Gloomerang. Thanks to the double bone armor, I'm never going to take a hit. And also thanks to the Gloomerang, if Malpatros runs away, or well, flies away, haha, then I could just instantly tag her back, cancelling some of her attacks, which can be quite annoying, including the attack where she throws waves at you which can get you wet and push your boat away at light speed. It's time for Crab King. Now, Crab King is on the ocean, which means water, and that means wetness. If I get too wet and my circuits start deactivating, that means I'll lose my spin cycle circuits, which is my DPS, and the way to deal with Crab King's minions. You see, Crab King spawns minions on his ice platform. The only way I have to deal with these things is by spinning with my Shadow Maul, because the spinning will kill them while I'm damaging Crab King himself. Unfortunately, when you're spinning with the Shadow Maul or with anything, it does count as you technically moving, so you are susceptible to slipping on the ice, which interrupts my attacks, but I guess also lets me resolve some of my dizziness, so it's not too bad. And also check out the damage I'm doing, 124 per hit. That's because of course I'm using a shadow weapon and I have a shadow affinity against a lunar mob. Once you escape the ice platform, it is not over yet, because you want to be very careful as to not put down your boat such that a cannon tower will burst right through it and instantly break the boat. In this phase of the fight, you want to skirt around Crab King's claws and then charge straight towards Crab King to get a bunch of damage in, since when he takes enough damage during this little bit of the phase after his ice phase, he'll just summon another ice platform. Also note that every time Crab King summons waves, I'm very much standing away from the edge of my boat. That's because if you are on the edge of the boat, you get wet quite fast, and of course if I have over 15 wetness, I will start losing charges. Now it's not the absolute end of the world if that happened, because I do have nightmare fuel which I can eat to artificially keep my charges maxed out for the duration of the fight.
Come on, backpack with a Gloomerang to kill you. Perish. Oh, you got me wet right at the end. Are you serious? Oh, it's fine. My wetness went down immediately because it's summer and I have a star crawlers down.
After pinching winching the altar back up, I then go to Lunar Island, and I actually haven't touched any of the Lunar altars yet. Usually you do the Lunar altars, so the Lunar Island altars, you do the Astral altars on the mainland, and then Crab King. But I found Crab King naturally through my Roto mappers, so that is why I haven't had to go to the archives yet.
Nice. Right, back to mainland, and then we have to go into the caves.
Taking the opal gem that I deconstructed from my Mooncrawler staff a lot earlier on, we're finally heading to the archives. Now the archives have been updated, so we are doing the usual things as of now, but later on we'll be exploring all the new content. The usual things that we do down here is getting knowledge, putting it at the puzzle, unlocking knowledge by doing the puzzle, and then repeating that for all the knowledge that we want. Which also involves to collect the dust blueprint, and also feeding ambrosia to a dust moth to get the Thulsite bugnet blueprint, both of which we need for our final boss.
Okay, see that? We've got 3 mimics. That's because they came out of these.
Despite all the duping I did for all my extra shadow gear, I still need to be kind of careful because I'm still going to run out of shadow repair kits eventually, so I do occasionally drop into the cave to try to get more of those materials. One of the blueprints I grabbed in the archives is, in fact, the astral detectors. Putting these on the mainland and setting them up, they will then point towards one of the astral altars that are in the mainland's floor. There are 2 that you can find, and by using 2 astral detectors that Lord Lee showed me, very cool, you'll be able to locate them by triangulating positions. Then of course once they're dug up, we need to very slowly lug them all the way back to Lunar Island.
Oh, this is so painful. I think I'll just like rip all of them out, rip everything out and wear thermal stone triple speed. Wait, what? Oh wait, all my circuits aren't active yet. Oh, and now we're blasting blasting along. Those speed modules, speed circuits really make a difference. Live commentary Jakey has very smartly decided that single speed is way too slow, so I rip out the circuit keeping me cool for summer, and I plug in my double and triple speed circuit again. Nice, with a super illumination so I can see at nighttime. Very epic. Finally, I will be able to lug things much faster. And thanks to my skill What's Up, any circuits that I unplug only drain half the charges, and any charges I do lose only take 35 seconds to regenerate rather than 90 seconds per charge.
while it's a full moon, I may as well make some more clockworks to farm me some more gears. Some tasty gears.
Watch this, fellas. About to do some gaming. Yeah, bone armor. Ah! No, they killed Glover! It's fine, it's full moons every night. Oh no, Antline's attacking. Oh, more weather panes, don't mind if I do. Look how many weather panes I have. Alright, time to put the refrigerant circuit back in. Ugh, I'm ripping up so many circuits. I think I'm just going insane. I could have sworn I just picked up the refrigerant circuit, but now it just disappeared into the void again. I'm going insane. I could have sworn I just picked it up. I could have sworn I just picked up the refrigerant circuit. I'm so confused. Oh, it's here. Wait, what? Oh, I don't know. My brain, it doesn't work. Oh, I'm so sad. Action unavailable. What do you mean? Just plug it in. Oh.
It's time for Antline. Now, Antline is kind of a joke boss, but also low-key, I think he can be kind of hard. Because there's lots of sand spikes, you have to dodge the sand spikes, and there's a movement speed reduction from the sandstorm. But thanks to my AoE Shadow Maul spin, any sand spikes that would get in my way, I just instantly break them back down, so I can dodge no problem. Lickety split perhaps. I also have triple bone armor to block every bit of damage. Easy peasy.
Alright. Now we have to give a Scrappy Werepick a visit because, potato. Wagstaff, where are you hiding, Wagstaff? Alright, Piggy. I'm just here for your potatoes.
In preparations for Celestial Champion, I am now farming some scrap from Scrappy Werepig. By standing just out of his range, he'll constantly throw scrap balls at me, and then that will build upon the scrap balls that are already there, or create new ones. And then I can keep searching them to potentially get scrap, and after long enough, I will get enough scrap. I don't want to risk killing Scrappy Werepig now, because if I don't get enough scrap, then that's kind of it. I need to get more by going to kill Nightmare Werepig, and then waiting 10 days for Scrappy Werepig to respawn again.
I'll be back later.
Otherwise, it's time to do the Moonstorm events, which include doing exactly one Wagstaff experiment thanks to a change a while ago, very cool, rather than 3. That includes getting 30 infused moon shards, 15 moon gleams, and completing an experiment to get a contained static. Not a contained static, but a restrained static.
There's just an infinite amount of birds. Oh my goodness, they're still coming. Just a few more moon glares, please.
Infused Moonshard does spoil very fast, but thankfully I've got the bundling wrap, which of course will pause its spoilage time, so I have plenty of time, or unlimited time, to get to Lunar Island without my Infused Moonshard spoiling. Just a little bit of scrap. Now that we have full moon nights every night, I don't need to worry about any kind of darkness problems, so I'm putting in double speed and a single ice circuit rather than one single speed, one ice circuit, and one super illumination.
Fellas, we filled up the chassis. There's too much stuff in the chassis. We have too many weather panes. We're just too good. Too many weather panes.
And just like that, from passively farming weather panes using my duplication chassis, I have a chassis full of weather panes. That's almost 15 weather panes for free! And I will be using these weather panes during the Celestial Champion Phase 3 fight.
I've got the orb. I think I've got everything. Yeah. Jelly bean me.
With everything gathered, it's time to summon the Celestial Champion.
Bruh. Let's do this.
I am absolutely kitted out for this fight. I have all the shadow gear, I have bone armor, I have gloomrang if I can't attack while in melee range, and I've got a singular jelly bean.
Triple bone armor versus the Celestial Chonkian.
Much like Crab King, I am pulverizing Celestial Champion with 124 damage per hit. But specifically, during this phase 1 fight, I am allowing the Celestial Champion phase 1 to hit me with his roll attack because it will make him stop moving around fast. And it doesn't really cost me a whole lot of resources because my bone armor tanks the damage. Otherwise, all the Gestults from Lunar Island and from the fight still pose a threat to me because I have no way to negate them except the Bone Helmet, but I didn't want to use the Bone Helmet because it has low damage reduction, and the Void Cowl buffs the damage of the Shadow Maul. The only threat from Celestial Champion Phase 2 is the Mermblender attack that we're all so familiar with. Luckily though, I don't need to even risk trying to do melee attacks before dodging it because I can just switch to the Gloomrang and run away preemptively to make sure I am plenty far enough away. Also, by switching to my Walking Cane after Celestial Champion has already started the spinning attack, Celestial Champion will match my speed as it started its attack, which is slower than me without a Walking Cane. If you didn't know, that is a thing. Celestial Champion's spinning attack will match your speed and otherwise has a minimum speed of about the same as a character with a Magiluminescence.
Ready with my disposable weather panes.
Phase 3 Celestial Champion is where the dangers really start kicking up. Every single pillar that Celestial Champion summons, when it is broken, it will spawn a Gestalt. At least, if it's broken by Celestial Champion's laser beams, it spawns a Gestalt. And since my lunacy will be maxed out, these Gestalts will be able to see me and tag me, causing me to get drowsy, which could cause me to get hit by a triple laser or a double melee attack. So what's the solution? Well, use my weather panes to break the pillars before Celestial Champion's laser breaks them. That way it breaks the pillars so they don't make you drowsy, and they also stop Gestalts from spawning from them, keeping the battlefield clean of any Gestults. And if I ever feel a little bit unsafe with meleeing Celestial Champion, I can just start throwing Gloomerangs at him.
Oh my gosh, don't break your maul. But if I did, it wouldn't have been a big deal because this is the Mimic's maul. Maul, eat the champion! Eat it! Yummy!
And Celestial Champion has been defeated. You might have been able to see, just as I was killing Celestial Champion, if you spin to attack and there's something that's choppable or pickaxeable within range, it will also try to pickaxe or chop that thing at the same time. Which is not what I wanted to do, so it interrupted my attacks, but well, it is fine. Giving Wagstaff the shard means we're going to open up the Lunar Rifts on about day 74. And now it's a new moon night. What can we do on a nice new moon night with plenty of nighttime? Perhaps we could fight the Twins of Terror. The Twins of Terror, of course, can only be fought at nighttime because they only spawn and then they despawn at daytime. So if I have half a day of nighttime, we might be able to kill both of them in one go.
I love just not dodging, it's pretty epic.
Thanks to my bone armor, I am like kind of just getting extra hits in by just not dodging as early to dodge every single attack. And I do have triple bone armor, so I can be tanking quite a few attacks before I have to actually dodge. Thanks to the AoE spin of my Shadow Maul, or well, from the spin cycle circuit, I can kind of ignore the minions. As long as I attack the main boss and the minions get close enough, I will also chomp down the minions. Spasmosticus down is now Retinator. Also, I got a comment ages ago saying that I've been saying Retinator wrong the whole time. It's not Retinator, it's Retinator, and I didn't see that. So reading is hard.
Got him.
Boom, Retinator has been defeated before the night of day 69 ends. Since I've defeated all the shadow pieces that I want to, I have no need for normal nights anymore, so I'm just immediately plugging in all 3 altars again to activate the moonstorms once again. I like being able to see for free, you see. But Jakey, why are you feeding rabbits to a rabbit hill? Oh, to spawn the Rabbit King. The benevolent Rabbit King? No, the evil Rabbit King.
Nothing has changed, I see. Excellent. Alright, fellas, I've got a chassis full of weather panes. I don't know what else I want to dupe.
Since we have lots of weather panes, we do want to fight, that's right, the Misery Toadstool with almost 100,000 health, which also means we need to do some farming. Because to spawn Misery Toadstool, you need a poison canary. To get a canary, you need to have a scarecrow. To get a scarecrow, you need to have a pumpkin. And to get a pumpkin, you need to do some farming. The auto grabbers have very nicely been gathering seeds for me in one of my inactive chassis. So with the very little seeds I have, we must hope and pray for a pumpkin. If only I quickly activated warm standby, made a chassis and put a chorus box in it, then I wouldn't have to do this. I wouldn't have to tend to them, it would tend to them automatically. Oh my goodness. Jakey, why don't you spend 10,000 years, 10,000 years automating this rather than just doing it? Why do you take 20 seconds to do it rather than just taking like 10 in-game days to do it? Is there a pumpkin? No, there's no pumpkin. Bruh. No pumpkin.
Okay, that is the real one. Okay, cool. Well, yeah, I don't have a room, so they can keep duping just to contain them, I suppose. So to the ruins to make more stuff.
With the extra green gems I have acquired through killing the Twins of Terror, and by mining a few more Thulsite stuff and things down in the ruins, it's time to make some more construction magic because I want some more void materials to repair my beautiful Shadow Wall.
I can get a decent amount of dupes in with that. Oh, nice! I'm so good at the game. Oh, it's this guy.
And would you look at that, we even get the Inkblight snakes, the easiest Inkblight for us to kill.
Oh, I got all 3 of them out. Oh, baby! And they've all perished. Excellent. What is that abomination? Eggplant. Oh wait, can I get a pumpkin? Pumpkin? Oh, not pumpkin. Pumpkin, no, onion. Onion and a weed. All my hopes are in my last child here.
Now we're kind of awaiting, because to progress to Celestial Scion, we need to kill all of the mutated bosses. But the mutated bosses can't mutate until the lunar rifts are open on day 74, and we also have to wait for Burial to spawn, who usually spawns on about day 76. So, while we're waiting, let's go kill Frostjaw, shall we? Oh my goodness, a fresh new Glommer on day 73. Fresh Glommer. Glommer the Third.
One fishy, please.
Frostjaw is a nice easy peasy boss, especially when you've got very high damage and bone armor. Imagine that, having endgame armor versus a noob boss. Although the entirety of the Frostjaw arena is ice, and of course while I'm spinning it counts as me moving, so I am susceptible to slipping, which means I can get interrupted and get hit.
Slipping is the bane of my existence, as WX have lots of speed.
By trading the cheap bass I caught from Frostjaw's fishing hole, I can get some bootleg getaways. If you give him a heavy fish, he gives you 2 of these bootlegs. And also, thanks to my roto mappers, I have found Monkey Island. Finding Monkey Island is also a requirement for spawning Warbot and Celestial Scion.
Is the lunar rift open yet? No.
Still no pumpkin. I plant more seeds for higher chances of my pumpkin.
Chester, you can stay here, okay?
I'm putting Glommer next to my inactive chassis that has the auto grabbers in hopes that the auto grabbers will grab the Glommer goop and store it away nice and safely.
Right. Suspicious dirt pile is what's on the list.
Since the lunar rift is open, all of my suspicious dirt piles will always lead to a Varg, at least until I kill a possessed Varg. Then it will stop doing that.
Bean! Oh. I should have brought double bone armor. No, my backpack.
Since it's autumn, the Varg is summoning a mix of normal hounds and fire hounds. This is a big deal because I don't want my possessed Varg corpse to be set on fire by a firehound, because that means it can't be possessed by a Gestalt. And of course I need it to be possessed by a Gestalt, otherwise it will not turn into a possessed Varg.
Wait, what? My backpack wasn't even on fire, what was that? My backpack wasn't on fire, but it just exploded. Do the flame attack straight away.
Thanks to my bone armor, I can tank the melee attacks, but oh goodness, I get blasted by the frost breath attack and fail to stun the possessed Varg. If you hit the possessed Varg with planar damage while it's doing its frost breath attack, it will become stunned.
That's what got me just then.
I barely even needed the stun phase to take it out. First mutated boss ticked off the list, 2 more to go. Celestial Champion required scrap, but Enlightened Warbot and Celestial Scion require even more scrap, so we are back at Scrappy Werepig, farming even more scrap. I'm also switching between bone armors, that way whenever he throws a scrap pile, it won't stagger me so I can keep searching my junk piles.
Ooh, Bulgur wants to spawn, very good.
Is that a Beardra I hear on the evening of day 75? By running to the edge of the map, I force Beardra to spawn in a cone in front of me, that being on the landmass that I'm on. That way I can more predictably go find him and know where he spawns. I feel like I'm going to have a little bit of extra time in this rush because I'll be waiting for the second winter for Deerclops and Crystal Deerclops. So I'm going to farm a little bit of wood with Beardra.
If only I had the spatializer circuit so I could pick up all these logs. Actually, I will do that. I'll kill Plumber to get a Krampus.
Oh no, Beardra has fallen to the might of the Tree Guardian. The death of Beardra has brought rise to Armored Beardra, the possessed version of Beardra. Armored Beardra makes short work of the tree guards in front of him, and then it is my turn to take him out. Armored Beardra is one of the most dangerous bosses in my humble opinion if you don't know what you're doing, but fortunately, I kind of know what I'm doing, so I'm able to stun Beardra once it does its butt slam attack. Once it does its butt slam attack, you have a very short window to hit him twice with a planar weapon. Doing so will cause him to be stunned, allowing you to get a bunch of free damage. It also helps that my weapon is doing 100 damage per hit to Armored Beardra, which is crazy, because Armored Beardra is a planar entity, meaning all the physical damage that hits him is reduced the higher that damage is. Second mutated boss complete. The last one is Crystal Deerclops, which we'll be doing as soon as it ticks over to winter. But until then, I must farm some more scrap. Otherwise, I have farmed 37 scrap. That is plenty of scrap for the rest of the run, so now it's time to take on and kill the Scrappy Werepig. Thanks to my triple bone armor, I can just kind of tank all of the damage. Because, you know, I don't take any damage. Though, unfortunately, bone armor does not make you immune to knockback, so all of his attacks that knock me back will still knock me back.
Whoa, the knockback is real.
Also, the Scrappy Werepig will do a combo attack when he grabs multiple weapons from his scrap pile. My bone armor will not protect me from those combo attacks.
Fine, I'll dodge.
But it doesn't matter, because any damage I do take, the Shadow Maul will just regenerate it all back very fast. And just like that, Scrappy Werepig has been unscrapped, de-scrapped perhaps, and has been defeated. Another boss eaten by the Shadow Maul.
Yo, automatogenic blueprint straight away. You know what that means? We're gonna have a clean base real soon. Look at this. Straight away. Whoa, bot. You are mine forever.
Yes, a pumpkin! Wow! Oh my goodness, I finally got a pumpkin in my farm patch, hell yeah. Now I will take care of this pumpkin seed, just like I took care of my firstborn child.
Oh yeah.
Using that jet feather, I make myself a feather pencil. This feather pencil I will be using to make a map a little later on, as part of the spawning sequence for Enlightened Warbot. Sorry, Glommy.
Where'd that Krampus spawn? We need to trap it. Krampus, what are you doing? Go to sleep. Very good. Oh, slick.
I will be waiting a long time for the second winter to start, so I have plenty of time to gather wood from the forest that Beardra trampled. So I'm going to capture myself a Krampus. That way I can scan to get a circuit which allows me to have infinite inventory space, or at least in one slot. With the pumpkin harvest and the scarecrow made, now it's just time to catch ourselves a canary.
Oh yeah, chorus box with a possessed heart, that's true. So I can trap this guy for just like biodata, but also, like, I want Sim for this. Infused moonshine. Now I can go pick up all my logs.
Scanning a Krampus unlocks the spatializer circuit, and like I said, once I craft this and plug it in, I get an infinite inventory slot in my rightmost inventory slot.
I have to unplug a speed though, that's unfortunate. Do I have a canary yet? I do not. That's a red bird.
Catching a canary is proving to be a little bit difficult, so I have made myself an ice staff. This way, as soon as a canary lands, I can just quickly freeze it and then drop a trap under it to grab it.
You are mine.
Then with the reeds I plucked earlier, I make a birdcage underground and put the canary in the birdcage. And because Toadstool is currently alive, that canary will become poisoned once a little bit of time has passed, usually about half a day.
Oh, I destroyed that circuit. Tragic. I have to make another speed circuit.
Plugging in the spatializer circuit gives me one infinite inventory slot in my inventory. I'm going to use this to gather logs, wood, all the wood that Beardra trampled for us. Of course, because now we're kind of waiting for the start of the second winter, because we want to kill Crystal Diclops, and then we can kill Enlightened Warbot. But before we get to the second winter, we also want to kill Misery Toadstool, so we have to have time for that as well. Another bonus to trapping a Krampus near your base is you can just scan it every day for some free biodata. 6 biodata per scan if you wait a full day between scans.
Are we poisoned? Oh my goodness.
My canary is now poisoned, so we are ripe and ready to do the Misery Toadstool fight.
There it is. All the logs got dumped out. Rummage clap storage unit. Oh! Oh, all my logs are effectively stored in there. Interesting. Cool. Didn't know that was a thing. But now we do. Wow. I have to add that to the guide as well.
This is something I didn't realize. If you unplug the spatializer circuit with lots of items in it, it creates a kind of temporary storage chest on the floor where it stores most of those items that were in your inventory slot, rather than all of them spewing out. That's to prevent lag, because you know, lots of things spewing out of you would cause a little bit of lag.
Time to withdraw my mixed wither panes. I don't know how many I need, but I'll grab all but one.
Finally, it's time to deploy up to my 15 weather panes. My 15 free weather panes. By letting the canary pop next to Toadstool, we turn Toadstool into Misery Toadstool. Now it's time to spin. We have to beat through over 99,000 health with my Shadow Maul. That's going to eat up a lot of repair kits, nightmare fuel because I have to fuel my bone armors, and I did not bring a bone helmet, because usually I do bring a bone helmet because the boom shrooms from Toadstool actually hit shadow creatures. So by wearing the bone helmet, you spawn shadow creatures, the shadow creatures come close to you, get hit by the boom shrooms, and you get free nightmare fuel. But we want the bonus damage from the Void Cowl, so that's why we're wearing that. Dealing 102 damage per swing, or per spin. I also have gears for restoring health and sanity, and I have my weather panes to almost instantly take out any trees that Toadstool spawns. Speaking of trees, here they come. Against Misery Toadstool, these trees actually buff Misery Toadstool a little bit more than the trees buff regular Toadstool. Misery Toadstool can get up to 99% damage reduction by having all of his trees up, so it's even more important to knock them down. But while some of those trees are up, I want to lure Toadstool out and behind one of his ponds, because he also gets increased speed with those trees up. So by doing that, I can lure him behind his pond, then destroy his trees, so then next time he tries to spawn trees, he will try to walk back to the center of his battle arena. But because he's behind a pond, he will be stuck behind the pond for a little bit, giving me a free damage window. It is not an infinite stall though. After a certain amount of time, Toadstool will give up trying to go back to the center of the arena and will start spawning trees anyway, but it does buy us a free damage window like I said. And now we have to keep this up for 80,000 more damage. Throughout this fight, I'm trying to spin, but not hit my dizzy animation, and so before I hit the dizzy animation, I'm then doing other things like using weather panes or refueling bone armor to efficiently let my dizziness reduce before I start spinning again, rather than hitting my dizzy animation and then doing everything after I've hit the dizzy animation. These little time saves do add up, especially in a long boss fight being a Misery Toadstool. Now with some characters, you can cause a weird stagger so that Toadstool only spawns a few trees at a time. I wasn't able to achieve this with WX because I think the speed at which you spin prevents that kind of stagger from happening, but it doesn't matter. We have so many weather panes that we can knock down the full set of trees every time Misery Toadstool spawns them.
Yo, these moves are kind of good. You know what I'm saying? Triple bone armor and free weather panes? And that, kids, is how I got 15 weather panes and defeated the misery toadstool. Did it. And also, you've been pranked. Like, all of my gear is mimicked. All these weather panes mimicked. 2 of the bone armors mimicked. And this shadow maul, this is not even the original one. This is a mimicked shadow maul. I hear rumbling in the ground. Hold on, let me see something. Otherwise, I won't be able to see. Hold on, wait. Oh my goodness, what's that? What the hell?
Oh my goodness, is that the superior greater depth worm? Oh my goodness, that's very scary. That's crazy that it spawned right when I just finished Toadstool and not during. That's crazy. The greater depth worm is probably the most destructive boss in the game. Whenever it goes up or down through the surface, it will eat anything in its way. And when I say eat, I do mean eat. It will consume and destroy anything, including mobs, materials, and items. The only thing it won't eat are unique items, like Hutch's Star Sky. But if you leave your backpack on the floor, it might eat it and eat everything inside. If it eats you, it doesn't quite delete you, tragic, but it does do a lot of damage. But it's not only the mouth you have to worry about. If you're standing too close to the body as it's moving, its spines will spike you, hit you, and then throw you back. And just like that, the greater depth worm has been defeated. Sometimes this thing can drop good drops, like green gems, but most of the time, it's just bone shards and such. So with the few construction amulets and deconstruction staffs that I have, it's time to do a little bit more duping. So I unplug my possessed Shadow Atrium so that I can craft the Nightmare Saddle and then start duping with it to make some more void materials. Now, because I have this possessed Shadow Atrium unplugged, if I were to equip my fake Shadow Maul right now, it would turn back into a mimic. We don't want that. But it won't happen as long as I just don't equip it and don't try to use it. Although over time, if you don't have the possessed Shadow Atrium plugged in, any mimic items that you're holding will turn back to their mimic form eventually, but for a short amount of time, it will probably be fine. And now I have, once again, plenty of materials to make void repair kits for my Shadow Maul. So any mimicked items that I want to actually keep as their mimicked item, I put in the possessed Shadow Atrium chassis. Anything that I want to eventually return to their original form, I put into a chest. Because if you put it into storage that isn't a possessed Shadow Atrium chassis, the mimics will eventually revert to their original form. But it does take some time, so you can store them for at least a little bit. At this point, I'm kind of a bit worried. The lunar rift is at maximum size, and we're still like 6 days away from winter. So it is entirely possible that the lunar rift might time out and collapse because it's too old before the second winter starts. Which means, and if that happens, I'd have to wait for a whole new rift to spawn before I can even spawn Crystal Deerclops. So hopefully, the lunar rift will not despawn before we get to Crystal Deerclops.
Are there bright shades here? There sure are.
Returning to Pearl, I was wondering why I wasn't getting any bright shades at my base, and that's because Pearl took them from me. Bright shades are spawned from the lunar rift, and they target plants that you have planted, including the ones that I planted on Pearl's Island, being the berry bushes. So I burned them down. And then I put a little chassis on this island for later teleportation, making it easier to get back here. Because the warbot spawning sequence does require me to go back and forth from Pearl's Island, because there is a crafting station there, or there will be soon, for me that I will need to be using frequently. Oh my goodness, Jakey is finally cleaning the bass and actually making storage chests? What the hell? This is not a floor base anymore? What's happening? What did you do to the real Jakey? Jakey wouldn't do this. Oh my goodness. Listen guys, in my real world, I am very clean. Everything's very nicely organized. But in my boss rushes, I'm just too ingrained. I don't want to be basing, making it all clean. But this time I'll make an exception, because now we are waiting for second winter, while also doing as much prep as possible for the warbot preparation. It's time to start sorting the chests. There is a strategy to the madness of the storing. I just store it in my noggin, you see. And just like that, now that we've got rid of Pearl's berry bushes, my bright shades will come to me, because I have farm plants, grass tufts, and saplings at my base, so they'll target those over random plants of the world. I haven't put everything in storage, including tools. I'm keeping them below my little farm plot, which does mean I very much want to keep any shadow mimics away from my base. Otherwise, they're gonna just start duplicating all the random tools I have on the floor. So that is another reason why I have put this possessed chassis away from my base a little bit. You only need to put it like maybe 4 to 10 tiles away from your base, because the shadow mimics do stay around the chassis which they spawned from.
Are they duping stuff yet? I forgot. Right, this one must be the real one.
So, at this point, I forgot which of my weather panes was the real one. So, how do you check? This is how you check. You drop them one at a time, and then as soon as the shadow mimics mimic one of the weather panes, that weather pane was the real one. Because shadow mimics cannot mimic off a mimicked item. They can only mimic off of actual real items.
Oh yeah, I got it. That's the real one. The rest of these are dupes. Finally, poop and rocks. Everything I wanted.
Using niter, sticks, grass, and glommergoop, I am making flares and then hostile flares. What these hostile flares do, at least the use that we'll be using them for, is as soon as winter starts, you can let off hostile flares for a chance to spawn Mac Tusks, if there are any Mac Tusks alive in your world, and a chance at spawning a brand new Deerclops as long as there are no Deerclopses in your world. That means as soon as the day 1 of second winter pops around, I can just let off a bunch of hostile flares to force a Deerclops to spawn and immediately get the Crystal Deerclops kill, allowing me to then progress towards the Enlightened Warbot spawning sequence. Doesn't the base look beautiful? All nice and clean, all nice and sorted.
Chester, no, get out of there. Oh my goodness, Chester, get out of there. Oh my goodness, he died. What a disappointment. Oh no, they're eating Chester. Get away from my Chester.
And here is our next nemesis, Crystal Crested Buzzards. When the lunar rifts are at their maximum height, so level 3 rifts, the biggest they can get, whenever you kill anything, it will leave behind a corpse, and then Crystal Crested Buzzards will come down and try to peck at the corpse. And if you get too close to them while they're trying to do so, or you just attack them, they will attack back with a ferocious lunar frost flame attack, and their flames leave behind an icy flooring. These Crystal Crested Buzzards are like insanely powerful, although they were nerfed a little while ago, but they're still very, very powerful. They even stun lock and kill my Chester. And then typically when they attack things, even NPCs, they then kill them, which causes a corpse to spawn, which cools down even more Crystal Crested Buzzards. The best way to deal with these guys is just don't kill stuff, and if you do kill stuff, run away from the corpse so you don't aggro with the Crystal Crested Buzzards. But if you have something like a Bright Shade Staff or a AoE Shadow Maul like I have, you can quite easily kill them. Because once they've let off one Frost Flame attack, they have quite a long cooldown of that attack, so they can only melee attack for a time after that.
Like that, that's all of them. Because no more are flying down to eat this.
And once you kill all the Crystal Crested Buzzards that were in the sky, it does take a little while for them to fully regenerate.
Ooh, look, 2. Efficient mining. This portal is so old. It allowed 3 rounds of pure brilliance.
I'm finally visiting the level 3 Lunar Rift, and that is because as the Lunar Rift progresses through its levels, it will spawn more and more rift stalls that give you pure brilliance. And we want this pure brilliance for crafting recipes for the endgame lunar gear. I don't want a whole lot of the lunar gear, but a Bright Shade Staff would be nice.
It's kind of cheesy, but like I might do it.
And then live commentary Jakey decides to kill Nightmare Werepig again. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if there's a reason for this madness. Maybe I just want to kill Scrappy Werepig again. I don't remember. But maybe there's reason to his madness.
I kind of like just click and hold to attack, then using my WASD to move. It's kind of legit. I can only punch now if I get hit. We don't need the Jester anyway. Got him.
And then Jakey goes into the ruins to be a little bit more greedy to make some more construction amulets. We do love green magic after all.
Yes, I'm so good at the game. Oh my goodness, the real ink blights? What on earth?
And we find our next Inkblight Rift, and this time, we get the actual Inkblight Trio. Not the Inkblight Snakes, but the real Inkblight Trio. So now we have an actual trio. So now we do have an actual fight on our hands. Thanks to the bone armor, the one that spins towards us is quite easy, because as soon as he hits you or hits your bone armor, he instantly stops, and then doesn't even kite you, making you take a lot of damage. And, oh, they're all dead. Shadow Maul is just too powerful, man.
Oh no. That spit me into another Ica.
Silly Jakey got consumed by an Ica. Fortunately, the Shadow Maul is simply too strong, and I can kill it no problemo. As soon as it ticks to day 91, I'm going upstairs and unleashing all of my hostile flares, while also checking that the lunar rift is in fact still open. Now, yes, it is potentially me wasting a lot of hostile flares by setting them all off, but I didn't want to set one off, then wait and check if a Deerclops actually spawned, then set off another one. So I'm just setting them all off and then hoping that a Deerclops spawns, because all I need is one Deerclops. And since I had an alive Mactusk in the world, it also called in a Mactusk. And there it is, my Deerclops. I will spin you to death with 102 damage per spin, and my bone armor will mean that I will not be taking damage. Although I only brought one for some reason rather than two. Before killing Deerclops, I have a final check of the map to check if the lunar rifts are still active. And here we go, it's time for Crystal Deerclops. Getting frozen does reduce my charges, so I don't want to do that. I want to avoid that in fact. And thanks to my speed, I'm very easily able to stun Crystal Deerclops and get a bunch of damage in. This is one of the few fights where I can actually pretty naturally get to my full dizzy state because I'm just there spinning during the DPS phase while Crystal Deerclops is down. Once I've stunned Crystal Deerclops, it has to do a certain amount of damage to her for her to grow back her eye Icicle. And during that state, she's in a kind of a berserk state, meaning she does multiple melee attacks per... Oh, she's dead. Well, that was easy. With the third and final mutated boss killed, we can finally start the Enlightened Warbot spawning sequence. So by sending all of my stuff and things over to Pearl's Island, I can then transfer to my other chassis that I left over there earlier, plug in a thermal circuit so I don't freeze, and then start the spawning sequence. Including giving a map to Wagstaff so that he can make a few minor edits, and then making a ton of cut stone and scrap to then make the flooring that I'll need. Goodbye, Pearl. Once I've made enough flooring, I move on to the next sequence, which is capturing Gestolts. To capture Gestolts, you need to make Phasmo encapsulators, and to make those, you need Thorsight bug nets. You remember? Learn how to make those earlier from the dust moth in the archives. It gave us the blueprint, and by using, of course, more scrap. That's why we wanted lots of scrap. As for the type of Gestolt, I'm kind of okay at the Warbot fight, so it doesn't really matter which Gestolt we use, but I think we're gonna go for a 3 and 3 combo. That way, the Terramites aren't that strong, and the flying ones aren't that strong. Of course, since we have Lunar Full Moon Nights, normal Gestolts will naturally just spawn around us on the mainland, so we don't have to go to Lunar Island or anything. And to get the other kind of Gestolts, I just went to the Lunar Rift and grabbed 3 Grazers, because they're just kind of sitting there vulnerable and they're very easy to capture. Once I've got my real full geared up chassis to Pearl's Island, which is now the Warbot battlefield, we can give the Gestolts to Wagstaff to start powering up Enlightened Warbot. But before we can spawn Enlightened Warbot, Celestial Revenant is not happy. The moon has sent down the Celestial Revenant, which is just a Phase 1 Celestial Champion, but it's a planar entity, so does planar damage and takes less physical damage. Because I'm freezing, every single hit is trying to heal me, so it's going to bottom out my sanity during the fight, which is kind of legit. The Shadow Maul chews through it with 100 damage per hit, just like before, except before I was hitting more, but it's fine, I chewed through it, no problemo. Wagstaff. Insultingly capturing the Gestolt that the moon sent down to protect its other Gestolts, haha. And we use this Gestolt to power up Enlightened Warbot. And now it is time to fight the Enlightened Warbot. I'm ready. Oh my goodness, they're mutating. This is not good. The first attack you're going to be seeing in this fight is the triple stomp attack, although saying triple stomp is not quite accurate. Warbot can jump and then stomp a couple of times before stomping, and you can do some more hits. Silly Jakey actually forgot to bring the Gloomrang. Since a lot of these attacks that Enlightened Warbot and Celestial Scion does, it makes them not quite invulnerable to melee, but you'll get knocked away if you try to melee. The next attack is the Flying Pound attack. Warbot will fly up and fly towards you, and you can run in the opposite direction, so Warbot overshoots your location and then misses you. Once I've hit a certain threshold, Warbot tries to summon heat-seeking missiles. These heat-seeking missiles, of course, seek out anything with heat and then will hit them for a lot of damage. Jakey, you've been freezing this entire time. Is that intentional? Yes, it is. There is an attack in the Enlightened Warbot fight which seeks out anything that has heat, so I'm specifically letting my character freeze so that I am not targeted by the heat-seeking missile attack. Your things are of no use because I am freezing. He sends them out until you do enough damage to force him to the next phase. That next phase being, Warbot summons his drones, his Terramites, and flying Terramites. I forgot what they're called. Terramites spin around and stagger you if they hit you. They'll also connect together to make an electric force field in a triangle. Well, if there's 3 of them, they'll make a triangle, but if there's 4 of them, it will make a square, etc, etc. The flying termites are a little bit more predictable and a little bit less annoying. They kind of just become a little bit of an extra attack during the fight, as all they do is they fly around changing their position but staying in formation and letting out electric AoE attacks, which are very easy to avoid because you can see them coming. Next is the particle uplink cannon attack. Warbot summons energy down from the moon and blasts it upon your last location, so you do need at least 1 or 2 speed bonuses to dodge it. But this particle beam doesn't only do damage to you, it also heals Warbot if you accidentally make it a target or sit on top of Warbot. Throughout this fight, Warbot is also sprinkling in heat-seeking missile attacks. But since there's nothing to target because I'm freezing and there's nothing hot around us, it only sends out 1 round of heat-seeking missiles before forgetting the attack and moving on to the next attack. The last part of the fight is a little bit manic because Warbot has every single attack unlocked and will attack faster the more damage I do to it. Defeating Warbot has given rise to the Celestial Scion. Note that when Warbot died, it puked out 3 of its legs. These legs are essential for defending against one of Celestial Scion's attack, which would otherwise totally kill you. Celestial Scion has a basic dash attack, and once you get it to low enough health, it will scream, pound the floor, and then infect the floor with a continuous damage over time effect, which also makes you drowsy, making you move slower. The strategy here is to face Celestial Scion outwards to the edge of the arena, so that when Celestial Scion stomps, it will only infect the outer part of the arena.
Oh no.
The Celestial Scion's Supernova attack is quite a devastating attack if you do not have Warbot's legs accessible to you. It will blast the entire arena in a damage over time effect, which will also make you drowsy, dealing a total of 150 damage over that time. But if you're behind the legs, you are immune to it, you will not get hit. We have reached a point in the fight where Celestial Scion can double stomp. So Celestial Scion can stomp, infect flooring, then stomp again. Need to be very vigilant during this part of the fight, otherwise I might lose half the arena, or even the entire arena. Scion also turns sanity into lunacy, making Gestalt hit you during the fight, but thankfully because of my Shadow Maul, it's constantly draining my sanity to restore my health, because if you recall, I am freezing during this fight, which means my health is always draining, so my Maul is always trying to heal me, draining my sanity to 0, making Gestalt not a problem during this fight.
So double scream though. How am I meant to get over there? Whatever. Spin!
Oh! But we did it! We tanked the flooring and we killed the Celestial Scion, but Wagstaff, what are you doing? I never noticed that WX says glorious when Wagstaff is being taken away, but that's it. The final lunar boss. Wagstaff was sucked away. We didn't kill Claws yet. So, it is not over yet. We are sending our stuff and things back to the base, hammering a few warblers, that's what they're called, to get some transmission cores, I think they're called, to repair 3 teramites. These teramites can be used for chopping trees, doing work and damaging enemies, but we're just doing them, or just grabbing them, for the funny, you see, for the funny. Celestial Scion, it also drops jewels which you can plug into the crown. Plugging all 5 in grants your crown additional damage when it summons a Gestalt, and it artificially turns your sanity to lunacy and keeps it maxed out. So it's like the opposite of a bone helmet. A bone helmet keeps you insane, whereas a enlightened crown, a super enlightened crown, keeps your sanity maxed out but also changes your sanity to lunacy. This means every single attack I do will send out a Gestalt that does damage regardless of how much my real sanity is, because it artificially keeps my sanity maxed out, of course. So this crown is actually better damage than me wearing the Void Cowl, even with the Shadow Maul. The damage of the Maul plus the Gestalt is better than the Maul being buffed by the Void Cowl.
There they are. What are you doing in the meteor biome, morons? You're not meant to spawn in here. You're meant to spawn in the mosaic part of the mosaic biome.
The strategy for the Claws fight is basically the same regardless of the gear, but in this case we've got the crown doing lots of damage, we've got the Maul doing lots of damage, and I have bone armor that will prevent damage once every 5 seconds, which means I can make a mistake every 5 seconds, but otherwise I really can't be getting hit because my max health is still quite low at only 200. And once the bone armor is on cooldown, I am fully exposed to a full hit to the face. I also have to be a little bit more careful about my positioning, because my Maul has an AoE attack of course, and if I end up hitting the deer and killing them, Claws will enrage, and we do not want that at all. Although if my bone armor gets on cooldown and I get hit, I am just regenerating health pretty fast thanks to the Shadow Maul. Thanks to my speed, I can dodge the pounce, but I can also just tank the pounce because of my bone armor, keeping claws still for a bit longer.
It's intentionally like not dodging to get more hits, and then the bone armor tanks it for you. It's very epic. What's a strong combo? Do tell. Oh no, and to end the run I broke the maul. But don't worry about it, because it's a mimicked maul, it's not even the real one. Wow! Mimic my maul, please. Why do I have a weather paint on me? Oh my goodness, look at that, a fresh new maul. Delicious. Happy Clayfest. Whoa. What the hell is that? Is that a pet skin? We're back after the newest update. I'm about to sanctum all over the place.
So to complete the new update, I need 4 spark arcs that are full of ancient light. Or I can just go find one of the new compasses in the sanctum, but initially I'm going for 4 spark arcs. But if you know how to get spark arcs, then you know there's a problem. If you don't, allow me to explain. You get a spark arc after you kill the first 3 mutated bosses, so Berador, Deerclops, mutated Varg, that gets you 1.
Oh my god, my last nucleation fluid.
Then every time you kill one of those, after the fact, you get 1 more. But of course, I don't get given spark arcs because Wagstaff is dead.
Oh, it's fine. Here we go, boys. We're going on a little adventure. Yippee! Help! Oh no! There's a maximum of 10,000 and it is at 0. Uh-oh, I am wet.
I lost my walking cane!
Wait, is it in here? Okay, cool. All is well. Oh, a portation orb, I'll take that. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Sanctum. This is a special little part of the archives, which is some good fun. Right, we're gonna attach a rope here, but I'm not gonna go down it yet. This just takes you back to the archives, but attaching a rope means you can go up and down it, so cool. My charges are completely wiped. This makes me sad. Okay, so I know where to go from here to get to the new place, but I need a compass, which it generates inside the Sanctum somewhere. So I need to find that. So I'm about to get lost, so all is well.
The Don't Starve Together wiki explains how to navigate the Sanctum really well, but basically, depending on the patterns next to the teleporter, it tells you if you're gonna go west, east, south, or north. And depending which way you go to the corresponding room in that direction.
This is the pattern we want. So you've got a 90-degree angle kind of on the bottom right one, and then a one that's facing each other on the top one. But I need to go find the compass first, and I don't know where that spawns. Alright, so we're in the correct room, but like I need the compass. Ain't no way to make a 4 spark arcs. Oh my goodness, waymark compass, I'm so smart.
Because the compass attracts the spark arc lights, but without the spark arc.
Oh, wait, what the? It actually tells you where to go as well? What the hell? This thing's broken. I was about to just remember how I got here and then go back. Alright, I need to suck some lights real quick. So... yeah, so I need to suck this guy. So I need to keep exploring the Sanctum until I have 4 lights following me, right? So if I had 4 filled spark arcs, which I don't want to make, then I could kind of like bypass this a little bit. I could just bring the spark arcs rather than guiding 4 guard posts to me. But this is like actually like kind of simpler. Oh wait, you get multiple compasses? Okay, that's cool. Nice, we just need 1 more. Oh, you can just get them from the archives? I didn't realize that. Oh, what's this? Yes, right, another guard. Ooh. Cool. We got the 4 guys. So you can go to the actual archives and grab these, like, using the rope.
Then I can lure it to the final destination, the new destination in the Sanctum.
Oh wait, I need to keep the compass equipped. So if you unequip the compass, they seem to wander. Puzzle time, engage Brian.
This puzzle's actually quite simple, I just didn't engage my brain. So you have 2 centripedes following you, and they move a certain direction whenever you go a certain direction. So basically you have to break the pillars so that they get trapped and you have a clear path to the end.
It's time for maximum immersion. Oh, let's see. What is this? Pull lever. Pull the lever. Wrong lever! Bang it, movie.
We are now in the new part of the Sanctum.
Here we go, fellas. Here we go. It's gaming time.
After socketing the 4 spark arc lights that I've lured here, boom, the new bosses appear.
Oh my goodness, ancient gorge tower. So I should be able to stay. No, don't point at me. I didn't bring a bone helmet. It's fine. I just intended to kill these things myself. You will all perish. I forgot to bring the bone helmet. That would make this much easier, but bright shade staff too good.
Indeed, a bone helmet would make this easier since these are kind of lunar aligned or them aligned creatures. If they hit a shadow creature, the shadow creature will hit them back and they'll start fighting each other. And the bone helmet constantly spawns new nightmare creatures and makes them neutral to you. So you can do the puzzle in this room without actually having to kill these guys if you just equip bone helmet. Now, I actually want these guys drops anyway, so I want to kill them. Again, the bone helmet would help because it will keep them distracted, but otherwise, Bright Shade Staff and the Jeweled Crown are too powerful, so that's what I'm going to use.
It might look like I'm not doing that much damage to the golem, but like, I'm doing this much damage to all the golems. Look, he's just pointing at me, you see, just pointing. Yeah, only I'm allowed to spin. Look at the fool, he is just pointing at me rather than fighting. Yes, one down. This guy's stunned, quick, capitalize on it. He's pointing, what an idiot, he's not fighting away, he's just simply pointing. Another one down. Oh, another one down. One left. Bright Shade Staff is just too powerful. Our last one has been defeated. With the power of the Bright Shade Staff and the Speen. Let's continue the puzzle in peace, shall we? So their unique drops are Spark Outlet. Oh, sorry, Spark Socket. Cranky Articulator. Cranky Articulator again. And a Guard Tower Core. Then the Portation Orb is from something else. These guys have like 1200 health or something. You just kill them, and then you give them a little push. And you push them into the socket, and you go again. So you can use a Bone Helmet, and that will cause the nightmare creatures from the Bone Helmet and the Guard Towers to fight each other. So then you can do this puzzle while they're all messing around with each other. But you kind of want to kill the guards anyway for the stuff that I just got from their drop, and you'll soon see why you want to kill them. The last one. Ooh, pick the Reliquary. I sure will. And you get the keystone, and then, oh, what's that? Oh, the chasm has opened. Oh, you can't rope that one, but you can jump into it. Okay, cool. The Portation Orb you can use to repair some of the teleport sites inside the sanctum, but like you don't need to do it. Instead, you can just gather them for Portation Orb fragments. So you get 3 for one craft, and when you focus, you can teleport to telelocator focuses that are socketed with these things. So if you get multiple orbs, you can make lots of these, and you can make infinite durability telelocator focuses. Very cool. The other thing you can make is Guard Tower Kit. And in the description, something big is coming up. Now, this tells me that, like, in the final boss fight that hasn't been released yet, you can just make your guard towers, determining optimal placement, and you can place your own one. And I imagine they come alive and they fight for you. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, there's no reason for me to stay in the sanctum now, so I'm just gonna leave. Make like a tree and leaf. I have returned to the real world. Yeah. Boom! What an absolute unit. Look how fast I move with this thing, damn.
But what can you do with this reliquary? Well, I can actually give it to Charlie after fighting Ancient Furyweaver. But what will that cause? Let's find out soon.
And now this is infinitely charged. Now if I teleport myself, I think it will take me there. Hell yeah. So the only cost here is the telelocator staff. Then this is free because they're socketed forever. They can always get back to Bass now. Although you could do that with like Pearl stuff, but like, yeah. Who the hell left their Ancient Guardian here?
I'm only killing Ancient Guardian to get the Ancient Key because I need to kill Ancient Furyweaver again so that I can give Charlie the reliquary thing. Yes.
Oh, the hand isn't here. That's annoying. Means I have to kill Furyweaver again to trigger it. Let's do this. Get scanning, my Vickies. Get scanning.
Since I wanted to rush the Shadow Maul in this run, I killed Furyweaver before I had access to the Spin Cycle Circuit. But as you'll see, the Spin Cycle Circuit is very good against Furyweaver in Phase 2, because if any minion gets too close, you're spinning, so you just kill them immediately while you're attacking Furyweaver. Otherwise, this is what an endgame Furyweaver fight looks like. Kinda easy. Bright Shade Staff, Crown, and Bone Helmet makes the fight incredibly easy. And if you need a panic button, just equip the Bright Shade Staff and start attacking. Because even if you're doing single target damage, it's still pretty good because each hit triggers the Crown. But of course, what I'm primarily using it for is killing the Shadow Hands by bouncing the Bright Shade Staff's projectile around the arena. And it's very good for panic buttoning if too many minions get close to Furyweaver and I'm like far away or something. As we can see, as the minions get a bit too close, as I'm attacking and spinning all over Furyweaver, they also get speened all over.
Fine, I'll use a teleport. Do a little spin, and the Furyweaver is dead for the second time. How embarrassing. What is this? A hand? But I already activated the rifts! Wait, what's the keystone that I got from the sanctum? Oh, okay, what does it say? The Shadow Queen is pleased with your progress. She will begin the final preparations and call upon you when the time is right. Be ready. P.S. For now, this will only reset the sanctum. Continue. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh my goodness. I'm so spooked. What did I just do? Games. I guess we'll have to find out when the Shadow Finale Part 2 drops in an unspecified amount of time. Oh my goodness. Let's make like a tree and leaf. Boom! Oh my god, I just got an email. I love receiving emails. Oh, there it is, the Tower Guard kit. Yeah, let me take that. But they'll smash up my base if I put them too close. But that is not all we can do, ladies and gentlemen. We can make the Guard Tower kit. He's gonna guard my farm. He's gonna be the best farmer there ever was. Then build Guard Tower site. Full site, moonrock, cut stone. Oh, okay, let's pop a little bit of that in there, see what happens. Oh. Examine Guard Tower. It lacks power. Huh, interesting. Oh, I actually need a spark arc now. Wagstaff would have given me one, but like, yeah, it's like totally the best way for green gems. Oh, there it is. Oh, there's a spark arc. Why is it so loud here? Why is it so loud here? Are you full of evil? Suction? Why are there so many? Oh my goodness. Why are there so many? Where's my fella? There he is. With the power of a charged spark arc, I grant thee life. Boom. Wet Guard Tower. Hell yeah. So, this guy is pretty cool. So, when you kill Fuel Weaver, it resets the Sanctum. So, every time you kill Fuel Weaver, you can get a new one of these. But, here's the downside. I don't think you can deconstruct it. So, like, once you've built him, that's it. He's there now. Can I deconstruct him? No, I cannot. So, he will roam the area. But if anything attacks him, like a hound, he'll fight back. And all of his attacks do AoE swings. Like, he'll easily annihilate a hound wave. But it also seems that he doesn't regenerate. So he only has 6,000 health if I recall. And it's the same as when you spawn them in the Sanctum. So they get stunned when they get like half health or whatever. And they go kind of berserk at low health. And also they're big, so they're destructive. So if you have it in amongst your base, they will stomp over structures. But this guy seems to be staying around where I put him, which is here. So I don't think he's going to stomp anything. Yeah, I guess you could heal them with like healing items. Oh, here we go. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Bright Shades versus my Guard Tower. Watch this, fellas. I'm gonna try have these guys whip my Guard Tower. Oh wait, it's just naturally going for it. Wait a second, what? It just naturally swung at that tentacle. Oh my goodness, what is this? Does it just not like anything related to them? Oh my goodness, he's so powerful. He's just going for it. What the hell? What was that? Those things have a ton of health. Does this guy... I'm confused. I thought this guy did just 150 damage. Oh yeah, maybe they instantly died because they got uprooted. Oh, look at that. He attacked the basilisk because I did. Give it a little tap. Okay, I think we've seen everything. Let me give him a little tap. Ow! I think that's it. I don't think he's my friend anymore. Oh my goodness, he's not my friend anymore. Never listen to the Twitch chat. They'll make you lose your friends. So when I run outside of aggro range, I think he just points at me. He's watching me and pointing. No, he's destroying my stuff. No. You know what? Fine, you can have the base. I will return the Shadow Finale. Fellas, I've jumped into a little testing world, and it seems that these guys, so like when the thing they want to attack is outside their aggro radius, they just kind of stare and point. But otherwise, they'll attack anything that has like seemingly just attacks you. If anything attacks you, they'll attack you and defend you from it. But then when they run outside of range, they just sit there and point. Like, it's kind of getting out of range now, so they're going to walk back. So I think anything that's aggressive and comes within their range, they will just go for. So it doesn't necessarily need to be shadow creatures. But I think shadow creatures, they'll just go for anyway, even if they're not aggressive to you. It's the equivalent of cost of making a Howdy shoot, yes. Oh my goodness, they stunned her! They stunned her out of her enrage. These guys are not interested in fighting Dragonfly at all. Oh my goodness! Their jump attack is insane. They even got... They did enough DPS to get a scale? It looks like they don't take fire damage either. Bam! Finishing blow. Yeah, I'm farming these guys in the long-term world. Remember, gamers, to use my links in the description and pinned comment to get War Thunder for free on all devices and to get yourself that massive bonus pack for new and returning players on PC and consoles who haven't played in the last 6 months. Thanks again to War Thunder for sponsoring the video.